What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils. Tonight, we've got the one and only Kai from Lucas Landon Royals with us. And on top of it, we've got the other awesome co-hosts. You know, the usual gang. Hopefully, we get Nathan out onto here. We'll see if Nathan shows up or not. But, well, let's bring out the co-host. We'll bring out Kai, say hi to some folks, run a first sponsor ad, and then, we'll get the show rolling. We got the one and only brother, Chris and us.
Representing Kai.
What's up, everybody? This is Chris from Balls Deep.
Yeah,
I'm going to clean tubs and pay attention.
What's up, everybody? This is Chris from Balls Deep, dropping them down on your hot seat, baby.
Here's John.
Did he just fall off his seat?
Give his reaction to that.
What's up, everybody? This is Chris.
Easy.
He missed his calling. He missed his fucking calling.
Hey, everyone.
Our guest of honor tonight.
What the hell you doing breeding snakes? You should have been an announcer.
All right. The worst part is I just got done watching a video that sounded exactly like that, okay? Except the guy goes, "This is for all the juggalos and juggalettes." And then he jumps onto something really freaking like,
Oh, man.
stupid.
ICP, baby.
That dude is so funny, and he jumps on shit and just gets fucked up.
It's just like,
juggalos and juggalettes.
and Sword
Like
Peter
jump
nailed
off a
it right
bus onto
on
like
the
a-
He's
dot.
like, do.
That's a special kind of person.
Chris, you hit it right on the spot, man. You hit the tone, the sound, everything right on the dot.
What's up, everybody?
Be there, be there, be there.
Oh God,
Sunday,
we're all
Sunday,
slightly
Sunday.
delirious. I think Kai might be the only level-headed one tonight. We'll have to see.
High level-headed?
I'm
Okay.
gonna call you Quiet Danny. Quiet Danny over there.
Better Danny.
Better Danny.
Before we say hi to
Better
everybody,
with
I
Cheddar
gotta
Danny.
say, Kai is the one that led the anti-Asian sponsorship of Morphel's Morphs movement. Okay? After Kai dropped my ass, Danny followed suit right after. So I think it was an
Wow.
Asian thing. I think it was Asian.
Anti-Asian.
In Kai's
That's-
defense, Kai
that's
was
a
around
thing.
first, so I don't know why you keep calling like Kai Danny. It should be Danny's Kai.
Wow.
Kai's been around longer. I'm sorry.
I'm still not even sure why he sponsored you.
Wow. Just trying to get our digs in. That's all.
Come
He's
on.
got 4 times as many viewers as you do.
Come on, Chris.
I was gonna say, I will be honest. When Kai, I've even told Kai this when he first said about sponsoring. I was like, "What? Like, are you sure about that?" Like, I
Get
was
it out
shocked. I was
there.
honored, but I was shocked. That's all.
Spread the love.
Yeah, just spreading the love.
But I did greatly appreciate it, and I love
Temporarily.
how Kai and we still bullshit here and there and all that good stuff, and always
Spread
have
the
good
love
fun
like
chatting about
temporarily.
shows.
Whoa.
Whenever
you
he does make his appearances. What was that,
Hey,
Chris?
I said
I'm
spread
having
the
a
love, but
little hard time hearing you guys.
temporarily.
What's that?
I'm gonna get my ear pods. Having a little hard time hearing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll be right
you
back.
good? All right, let's go through say some hi to some peoples. We got Tara, S4 Royals channel member. What's going on? Good to see you, Tara.
Yoo-hoo Queen.
Yes, Yoo-hoo Queen.
Hello,
Mr.
hello.
Keith, creative
What's
gymnast.
up, Keith?
What's going on, Keith? Good
What
to
up?
see you.
What up?
He's coming out next year for the barbecue.
Ooh,
I'm gonna make him come out.
you're gonna make him come. We got Jamie, Tire God Morse, another
What's up,
channel
Jamie?
member. What's going on, Jamie? Mr. Blue Zombie.
That's Coco's on its way, brother.
Mac O'More, what's going on?
Patrick.
Brittany, thank you
All
very much.
right, there it is.
Greatly
Yeah,
appreciate
there
it.
it is.
I love it. I told Brittany she was kind enough to send me a shirt,
Fire, baby.
and I told her I was going to be wearing it tonight. So thank you very much. Brittany. Greatly appreciate it. What the hell was that?
Chris getting good.
Chris is getting a little too happy back
You're doing
here.
it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all we got in. Dang, that's all we got in the chat. That's good shit right now. All right.
4 people, yay!
Ooh, Tara wants to know, is Kai actually gonna talk tonight? Ooh.
He'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There's going to be a lot of Kai talking tonight, I feel.
Fuck, Kai.
Should I-
Only if the earbuds work.
Yeah,
still
yeah,
can't
yeah,
hear.
earbuds working.
Everybody just mouth. Start hitting the screen.
Well,
Can we barbecue in the snow? Oh, well, maybe it'll be in May. We'll do it a little early, and maybe we'll do it like May again next year. I don't know. I gotta talk to the wife.
I was gonna say, because I know you and I had talked about flip flop and like years here starting off at some point where
Yeah, for
one
sure.
year it's here and 1 year it's at your place, just to kind of split things up a little bit, which I thought was a good idea.
Yeah, next year we'll take it on, and when I turn 50, it's gonna be at my place because I want to do a big pig. I want to roast a pig.
Big old pig.
Yeah.
You know what? You could get it if you shoot enough deer. You could do some deer too.
People aren't as keen to venison as they are to pork. We'll do both. Fuck it, it's 50. You only turn 50 once, right?
Exactly. I was like, people don't know what they're missing with deer, man. That's where it's at.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, well, I hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is much better. I can hear you guys.
You're a little quiet though.
I don't know where you're getting the. I don't know if he's using the phone's mic or the earpods mic. Was that louder earlier?
It's a little bit louder now.
You look like Bruce Lee. It's lagging.
It's pretty clean. We can hear it.
Hey, Kai.
Hey.
This fucking guy.
I don't know if
So the next,
It's like you're having a stroke.
the next Gettysburg, my money is on Kai kicking Chris's ass.
He's like, "How you doing?" One,
Yeah.
one. He puts him. He's gonna be asleep anyway, so it don't matter.
I'll just start taking my clothes off. He'll run. I'll just start stripping down. He'll run away.
He's
That's
right.
That is a good tactic.
That's easy.
It worked for the fat man, right?
Yep. Start stripping down, dude.
Oh my God, there's something so wrong.
Am I coming in louder now?
There you sounded better. Yeah.
That's better? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Technical difficulties.
You're
No
good.
worries.
Since when
Yeah,
it's
Coming from a
very-
YouTube star. Come on.
See, very seldomly does this show actually ever run smooth and just kind of flow. There's always got to be a bump somewhere, Kai. Come on now. Normally it's Sorrentino being the bump, but you know.
Bump
Dude,
it
I'm on a
up.
BS iPad.
You are?
Yeah, I got a BS.
Huh?
I got like an old iPad.
How old?
No, huh?
How
I
old?
don't know. I don't know.
It was before the function of following you around became a thing.
I'm on an iPad. It sounds fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who's with me?
You guys got these
Live.
earbuds, special microphones, and I'm on some BS iPad.
I'm just on my phone. I'm on my phone.
That works.
It's
What I'm
probably
on.
not Apple.
It's not Apple.
Good man. Good man.
All right, let's run the first channel sponsor, and then we're gonna get this show on the road because this is gonna be too good.
Down and dirty.
ShedTesting.com is your premier choice when it comes to shed testing. Charlie is adding new tests on a regular basis, so make sure to stop by often to see what's been added to the website. Let ShedTesting.com shave years off of your breeding plans. They're fast, accurate, and can't be beat. Don't forget to use the code CARPET15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order. ShedTesting.com. Use the best.
If Charlie, if you're watching this on the replay, or maybe you're hiding out in the chat, I don't know, but you're gonna have some Het Clown tests coming your way here in about another week. So first clutch did hatch, so I'm excited about that one. Did get kind of kicked in the nuts on it, but I'll let you guys got to figure out how that all happened. You know, when that video gets dropped.
My
Did they
God.
crawl out of the egg?
This fucking guy cries about everything.
I do cry about everything, just like just
My
like
snake won't lay.
and so just like freaking Celeste. All the snakes have laid now at this point that we're due, except for Chris's girl being super freaking difficult. She's
My snake didn't let
I made her a
I got
bath. You know, I lit some
email.
candles. I played some nice music for her. And
Did
know
you
what she
massage
did?
her gently?
I did
Boo-hoo.
massage her gently, yes.
Okay.
I made the
Are you
only
sure it's
damn
female?
blah blah blahs in the world. Wah, wah, wah. Shut the fudge up, man.
So I'm guessing he didn't hit a male.
They're the only ones of their kind. Oh, poor me.
They are the only ones of their kind. And the odds God said, you know what, Jeremy? We're going to here, hold my beer. We're going to overachieve on this
Can't
one.
make it too easy on you, Jesus Christ.
Just ship them here. Just ship them all here. It's fine.
Well, no. Let's not get too hasty here, Chris.
Oh, okay. All right. Then.
I've got a name to make first. Then I can start, Nate's the Bang Daddy. I don't know what you can make the Xantic version of the Bang Daddy, but I will be the Xantic version of the Bang Daddy.
Nerd
Colorblind.
daddy.
Colorblind daddy.
The colorblind daddy. Oh, man. All right, Kai.
What's up?
What have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, Asian daddy.
You don't get to call me that.
Not yet.
What's the
No,
problem?
no.
Come
You
on,
gotta
hold on.
earn that.
It's just, working on the ball python stuff. That stuff is like on autopilot right now because they got other stuff going on.
We're gonna get into that other stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I did the
not
one.
really snake related. I don't know if you want to get into it. It's like the koi stuff, the gardening. I am trying to, clean up the shed a little bit, clean up the garage to add some more rat racks because I want to be more like independent, not have to depend on somebody else because that hasn't worked out great. I mean, it's been a long run, but there's been times where things get dry, and I feel like I lost some clutches maybe due to that. So I want to make sure that I'm set up for myself, and then I can always order some frozen stuff. If I don't have enough live. But in the past, I was just like supplementing with like a couple racks of rats and ASFs. So should be cool. Should be fun. It is a lot more work though. It's a lot more trash to take out. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the snakes love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then other species, working on other species as well, so that's fun. And like I mentioned, I was doing the koi stuff, the fish stuff with the gardening stuff, and then I'm trying to combine those together to do this aquaponics thing that I've always wanted to try. And so far, it's been working out. I put some strawberry plants in the filtration system, and they're already making strawberries. They're fruiting already, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you're doing this all indoor, right?
Now, this is all outdoor.
Okay, so you are doing outdoor. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
I have
it's
I got a buddy who runs a couple house plants in the same kind of setup, but it's just small like pothos and just small like other types of house plants, and he runs it through the filtration and just has the HID light above it, and it's amazing how they grow.
Yeah, they grow really well. They as long as it's a plant that can absorb a lot of nutrients through water, then they do pretty well. 'Cause right now, I used to have 3 filters on the koi pond, and I deleted one of them because it was just like this like filter that kept getting clogged up of crap, and I don't feel like it's working really well. So I removed that, and instead I'm replacing it with plants. And I don't know, Jeremy, if you have the ability to pull up pictures, but I sent you a picture of that aquaponics setup. So it's the koi pond that I have outside. And if you guys remember, I did a 2-part series video on how to build that.
Give me a minute here, and
I've
I'll
been
pull
trying
it.
to tweak it ever since. Right now, like I said, I have. You guys have seen my my toolbox that I bring to the shows, the 3-tier stack toolbox. One of those, I made that into a filter because it's already got 3 tiers. So I just drill holes and then water trickles down.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
it's what we call it's called a shower filter. So it's kind of like the top showering down on the 2nd tier and the 2nd tier showering down on the bottom tier. So you can't really see it in the picture, but you can see the toolbox. it's sitting in the tub, and then that tub has two holes that drain down to two more tubs, and so all of those tubs are going to get filled up with plants.
Are
Okay.
you guys able to see that right now?
Oh yeah.
If we could blow it up, that'd be better. But how many plants does it take, Kai, do you think, to replace that one filter you took out of rotation? Have you hit that yet? Like,
No, I haven't. I haven't put all the plants in yet.
okay.
And plus, right now the fish are small. I'm just testing things out. I don't want to spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on koi and then have them poison themselves because the filter or the plants are not taking enough nutrients. So I'm just gonna slowly do it. So there's like 5 fish in there right now, and there's some lemon balm, which is mint, on one side of that toolbox. The other side has the strawberries, and then you can see there's 2 more tubs right in front of there. Those 2 are empty right now, and I'm gonna fill those up with probably like strawberries and different kind of herbs. So that's the goal right there. And then, Jeremy, you don't have to show all of those. Just show the koi plant.
Where's the good pics?
Here, I do like this one because I feel this one all the time.
Yeah, that's how I felt after I did the koi stuff and my sheds, and I was aching. I'm still aching everywhere.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but I mean, the koi stuff is fun. It's just stuff that I wanted to do. All the other stuff that I did, not the gardening. The gardening is my wife's stuff, and she doesn't usually work on it. But all the other stuff that I did is basically to move things out of the garage so I can add a few more rat racks in there.
Nice. Nice.
Stuff that we do for this hobby.
Very cool. So are those koi going to be just like something cool to look at hobby-wise, or do you think you might try to breed them in the future as well?
Right now, they're just going to be something cool to look at. And I haven't dialed it in. I've actually killed several kois, to be honest. I originally had like 10 of them in the house, and they were outgrowing their aquarium. So I built that koi pond. I put them out there, and over one winter, half of them died. And over the second winter, the other half died. So I'm like, what's going on? So I've been trying to figure out how to keep them alive over winter. And that's why I just have the cheap little ones in there right now. Last season, at the end of the season, I put 3 in, and one of them is still there. So I think I'm starting to figure out what's going on and how to keep them alive without having to like add heaters and things like that over the winter, because that's going to be a big expense.
You don't think you could put one of those little like 12-inch in the tank heaters for like a 20 or 40 gallon aquarium, keep that in the bottom and just set it to like 45 or something like that, or 50? Like you don't need to heat the whole thing. Huh?
It's going to be on all year, though. I mean, all winter.
Right. They're made to be on consistently, though. They're supposed to, like those ones that are submersible. Like back in, you know what I mean? Have you ever seen those? Yeah.
I have them on my reef tank right now. I just don't want to add an additional heater out there.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially since I won't be there. So if something happens, they get electrocuted, the thing breaks, and they're going to freeze anyway. Like I want it set up in a way that basically they're getting heated from the earth.
So so you might need to go deeper. I think that's what Nate's leading into here. Is how deep is your pond?
It's almost 4 feet, and here you only have to go down 3.
Well, yeah, 3 is usually recommended. When I did water lines, it was 3 foot, but they almost want, some places they might do want you to go 4, but I don't know.
So right now, I don't think it's the cold that's freezing them, because at the very bottom it's still relatively warm. It's cool enough that they need to go into that hibernation mode, but it's still warm enough for it to not freeze. I think the issue that I've been having over the past few years is that they've either expended too much energy right before they go into the hibernation, and so they don't have the fat reserve to go through the entire winter. So I think what I had to do is, so last season what I did was I fattened them up really well, and then I turn everything off, all the water flow, everything. I turn everything off so they don't have a current to swim against.
Not using any energy. Just like a snake hibernating.
Yeah, exactly. You have to kind of like let them eat, get fattened up, empty, and then turn everything off so that they don't have so that they have the fat reserve and not have to expend additional energy to swim against a current.
Right. Interesting.
So we'll see. I've been working with that stuff. I told you, Jeremy. Like ball pythons is not even in my mind right now. Like all that stuff on autopilot. I had to look through because I knew you guys were gonna ask me about ball pythons.
We gotta talk about that. We have to talk about that.
I went to the room to look through, just be like, what pairings am I doing? Because they're gonna ask me. I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know.
See, that's
we want to hear
funny,
about your
though, that,
balls.
like, you kind of switched gears a little bit, though. Like that's it's It's nice though. It's nice though that you're able to do that, because if you're just solely focused on the snakes, I feel you can, you gotta have other distractions here and
You
there.
get tunnel vision quick.
Yeah. And even just having different species. I mean, you guys know, like Chris and Jeremy, and you guys know that, going from ball pythons to the other species and then coming back to ball pythons, it's kind of more interesting and keeps you a little more fresh, going back and forth like that. So yeah, it's been fun.
It seems like it works different parts of your brain. Like balls, you've got to worry about all the genetic stuff. But the other species, it's, to me anyway, it's not as much the genetics, but it's the line breeding aspect. What traits do I want to go for? Like it's I don't know. It gets my brain working a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you've been driving a car for 8 years, and then all of a sudden you get a motorcycle. Like it's still kind of the same, but there's differences.
For sure.
Because with ball pythons, I have everything all set up, and my everything's organized, my routine. The marking what pairings I have, the dates they locked, whether they're developing follicles or ovulating or pre-lation. Everything's marked. So I don't have to keep it in my head anymore. It's just all on the tongue. Autopilot, everything. But when it comes to the other species, since it's like my first time, I'm paying so much attention to those.
Are you taking pictures of stuff like temperatures, times, locks, all that stuff? Like, are you taking lots of pictures?
I'm not taking a lot of pictures. What I've done with some of the other species that are close to breeding size is I did the research and I wrote down the schedule that they should be on, and then I tried to mimic that schedule that other people have talked about. So if they're saying just start dropping temperature starting in November, that's what I've been doing. Like it's following their schedule. So I don't have to document like what mine's doing per se if they're already following that schedule.
Right, but when you see cues like hoarding or ferocious feeding or something like that, like take pictures of that so you can remember when you saw that activity, whether or not it relates to what you are reading about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can always refer back to it, you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that way you can always refer back to it and always look at the timestamp and say, oh, okay, well, last year they were doing this at this time of the year. What's going on now? So you can always look back at it and stuff like that. I find that very helpful with the other species.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when they do end up giving you eggs or a litter, and then you can look back and like, oh, what are all the steps that I went through that I did right?
Exactly. Yep. How did it compare to what I'm reading about? What did I hear about? How does it compare? How's my experience? All that stuff. Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
That's the one thing that John, when I would be bitching and moaning about the carpets and stuff, John was always like, what did they do last year? So that was nice with the Husbandry Pro. Just go back, look up. Excuse me. This is when I was pairing them. This was their timeline for follicles. Here was eggs, and it's funny that both of the girls are a month behind where they were last year.
Yep.
Almost to the dot a month. Now Celeste is overachieving with what she wants to do. I think she wants to have more gray hairs in my head, but So Scotty wants to know, Kai, are you breeding retics this year?
No, I don't think they're big enough yet. I mean, I forget when I got them or when they were hatched, but they don't look like they're big enough. They don't look like they're girthy enough to have eggs.
Okay.
I want to make sure they're thick enough that at least thicker than a ball python or about the same thickness as an adult female ball python. Because I feel like their eggs are, dwarf, super dwarf, retic eggs are about the same size, I think, as a ball python egg.
What's up, John? Yeah, are they super dwarfs, Kai?
Yeah.
I do have pure super dwarfs and 50%ers as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. What's the age on the super dwarfs?
I gotta go look. I think they're I feel like they're 3,
Okay.
close to 3. And the 50%ers might be just a couple months older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're not feeling it, you definitely might need to wait a little bit, depending.
I don't think they're 4 yet. I've heard that the minimum might be 4, but that number, that age seems to apply more towards the mainland retics, whereas the dwarf and super dwarfs, they take a little bit longer, is what I've heard. Like, people have tried and they all say that they didn't breed until like they're 5, 6, 7 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that being like of a more like specific locality thing, like a lot of the locality bowls, like some of the Corn Islands, the Pearl Islands, the Tarahmarans. Tarahamarans aren't an island, but the Tarahamarans, just being that niche locality, they just take a little bit longer to get to that mature adult size. I could see that. Yeah, 4 to 6, Scott, he says. Yeah, makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty.
I tell you what, though, I think there's something rewarding, though, about the species that do take longer to get up to that size.
It's so tough waiting, man.
Oh, dude, it sucks waiting for it. Like, it literally sucks waiting to that point. But
Yeah.
I feel as though
It's
your
tough.
brain, like, for that amount of time, at least, you're just enjoying them. You're not worrying about breeding them. You're just enjoying them, period.
Yep.
Yeah, I just seen Casey's Blue Baron clutch. I'm like, I got so long to wait. She just dropped like 26 eggs, and I got 4 more years.
Wow, 26? Holy crap.
Dude, her snake double clutch last year.
Chris will be pushing 60 by the time they breed.
Nathan can enjoy them.
Straight. They're gonna be going over to Nate in another year, roughly.
Uncle Nate.
No, they're not. No, Uncle Chris.
Nope.
I have the big
Uncle
green
Chris.
female.
I know Chris the longest, Uncle John.
No, I know Chris the longest.
Oh, well, fuck it. Damn.
We'll share him, John. Deal.
You're right. Goddamn.
Don't tell me
Look
what
at the Kai. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Uh-oh. John's coming for you.
Scott, the long wait till you can make them sucks. Feels awesome when you make them, though. That is true. That is very, very true.
With ball pythons, Kai, I wanna touch on them a little bit, but I'm more interested in some other things. I don't know about everybody else, but like, what's your outlook? What clutch size? Like, how many are you looking to do this year? What's your focus that way?
I think clutch size wise, I want to stick to under 50. I'd be happy anywhere between 30 and 50.
Okay.
I'm not counting them as closely or striving for specific numbers. If they go, they go.
Right.
If they don't go, like I'm trying to make space. To be honest, like right now the room is completely full. It takes like 2 days just to clean everything. So it's a lot of work. Last season I was close to 80 clutches, which is a ton of work. I had to do like a makeshift incubator at one point. And,
dude, that's a lot.
Yeah, I remember I basically took the cooler that we have and I made it into an incubator. And then like right after it was done, I had to take it apart because we had a barbecue coming up.
Did your wife know about this?
Yeah. She knew. And we had plans. We told a couple other friends, is like, hey, we might have to borrow your cooler if things don't work out, as planned. If they didn't come out, if those eggs didn't come out, they didn't hatch, we still needed a cooler, and we didn't want to just go buy one just for like one day. So yeah, we made Plan B alternatives.
Nice.
So yeah, 80 was a lot, and those are like I would say like 78 was the number of clutches, not including like slug outs or anything like that. Like 78 clutches with viable eggs.
Viable, jeez.
Yeah, that was a lot, and I had to like work pretty hard to sell them as I'm hatching them, just to make sure I have
Keep
enough
moving
space.
them.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. And to
Yeah,
be
I
honest,
seen
like
your auctions.
no, that was the year before. It got to the point where like I wasn't even comfortable, with all of those animals anymore. So I wasn't enjoying them as much. So this season, just taking it easy. Like I said, if they lock and they lay, then great. If they don't, I'm not gonna get all.
You focus a little more attention though to certain projects though.
Yeah. Like I'm focusing a lot on the puzzle, the sunset stuff. I would really like to add some more genes into the hypo puzzle project. Kind of starting out a puzzle DG project with some codoms as well. And with shed testing now, you can do like a het to a het. So I have like sunset hets to um, puzzle het hypos. So
Nice.
Yeah.
we'll see.
For sure, yeah. You can see if you can hit the quads or whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing
Nice.
that.
Hey, might as well take
I mean,
advantage.
a lot of people are doing that too.
One of the that's one of
Everybody
the
on
things I've been having to
Instagram.
do. Yeah,
No,
shed testing. That's a key thing for me this year.
Shed
'cause there's-
testing's a game changer.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
man. It is.
definitely.
I
You
also
can like put together pairings that traditionally are long odds, and they still are, but they don't seem as daunting anymore just because you can test them. Like right now, if I'm successful with the het sunset to a puzzle het hypo, the puzzle is 100% het guaranteed. All the offsprings are going to be 100% het hypo. But I'm sorry, 100% het for puzzle. But then I would just test for the het puzzle and the het sunset.
Yeah.
And there's already a lot of genes in those pairings. OD, YB, Jungle Woma. So
Oh, nice.
all together.
I think that's the one thing a lot of people do lose sight on, though, is that they want to get the quad and the triple visual and stuff, but they're forgetting to add the other genes in there because they're in such a focus of getting the triple, the quad, whatever.
That's actually what I forgot to do when I worked on my doubles and triples. Like my doubles and triples have like pastel in it. That's it. So to hit the double visual and then go back to add codons is like starting over again.
Yep,
for sure.
Totally starting over again.
Nice. How many hypo puzzles you hit this last year? 2 or 1?
I hit one hypo puzzle, hit like 2 hypo het puzzles, and I hit more than that, but this is what I'm holding back. And then the last one is a puzzle het hypo.
Nice, very cool.
I held back 4 from last season. I did get more double visuals and visual plus a hets, but I sold them all.
Nice. Yeah, that one I got from the one auction a while ago. It was a pastel het hypo 66% het puzzle. She proved out. So she's 100% double het hypo puzzle. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
She proved out or she tested?
I tested out. Sorry, she tested out. Okay. Yeah, so
I was like, how'd you get it up to size?
Yeah, no, not yet. No.
Brittany's question.
Maybe next year.
What kind of rats are you breeding, Chris?
Come on over and pick some up, buddy. You need some rats.
Brittany's question, yes. I believe that it's going to be very hard to move a lot of the less desirable animals moving forward with shed testing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you can get the pinnacle if you're doing this stuff, but when the offspring do come out, you can missed the head, of course, and that'd be less desirable. And then even hitting them, I think that a lot of people are on the road for that. So there's going to be a lot available.
I mean, I got vanilla triple heads sitting here, 100%.
You got
apparently they're less desirable.
The only way to combat it is have a really desirable genetic into the mix, something like
something rare, like Wookiee or something stupid like that people don't got.
Something very like whatever work great together.
Yep.
Rare.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I think a lot of we're gonna see a lot of that effect. I think this year and going into the next year, because this has now been. We're now just trending. What is this now? Year or two of testing.
Hold on, guys. I gotta do something here.
Yeah. I think this is year 2, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about 2 or 3.
Actually, I think it's year 3.
Are we going into year 3?
I think we're going into year 3. No, I think maybe Charlie might have been going at it for 2 years now at this point. But RGI, I think, started roughly about a year beforehand. Don't quote me on it.
So yeah,
I'm pretty sure RGI had it just a little bit longer, where it's probably more about 3 years with that.
So
but
we'll see how much is out there and available. It's just always going to come down to how hard it is to get, who has it, and what's available. That's it. Like if it's something hard or whatever, like very rare, that's going to be the right? It's something you see 15, 20, 30 of. Well, the price will probably be a lot cheaper. Like Kai said, he did pastel. But there's a lot of pastel now. Now he's like, when I'm going to put in different genes, that might be not as easy to obtain, like a mahogany, something, whatever, yellow belly, blah, blah, blah. So it's about the genetics moving forward.
You definitely have to add something that people want in there, and that'll help with finding them homes. I think the other aspect with the head-to-head breeding is we're not just doing like a head-to-head. We're doing like triple head to triple head or something like that, or quad head to quad head. You're not doing just single head to a single head anymore. And by doing triple heads or quad head pairings, you have a better odd of hitting something that's visual.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. When you're doing quad head to quad head, I think half of the clutch is going to be a visual something. So you have that as well.
I try to over here, like I shouldn't say I won't ever do a triple head to triple head. I don't care what it is, just personally. But I would do a visual head to like a triple head or a double head or visual head to double head. I always try to at least have one visual in there so the odds go up. Depending on we get 6, 7, 8 clutches. Yeah, we can hit a pinnacle. And like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do that with. I'd rather prepare for hitting a visual to hold back than making a slop clutch, basically is what I call it if I miss. My odds are usually to miss. Some other people are just way better at it. Like they can just do this stuff and they're like, they get freaking 3 of them. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I think we know somebody like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. But it's like sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes it's something that's too new, and you can't make your visual double heads.
Right. It's like right now I'm sitting on a couple like girls that are only like 600 grams, but they're DG Exanthic. And they're nothing crazy. It's just GHI and GHI pastel. But I won't breed them until I have an Exanthic head or a DG head. Like I have a double head in the other room, but I will not slap them together. It's not because my luck, I'll hit them. Or I'll hit one, right? And I just have all this byproduct of 4 different clutches that I know that I'm gonna have to take to the wholesale bin, which basically just pushes that to somebody that's now going to be able to make that within 2 years, 3 years of that girl growing up or whatever, baby growing up, to then try it again. And then there's just so much of it more out there. If I don't put as much of that crap out there for myself, not much can be made. And that's how I look at it. Like, and I know it's maybe buy it off somebody else or whatever, but at least I'd like to have the visual in there or a solid gene double head.
Yeah.
Than putting out just a normal double head. Like half my normals anymore, I don't even put heads on them anymore. A single gene, same thing. Me personally, so yeah, if you buy single genes off me, they're more than likely head for like 2 or 3 things. I just don't even put heads on them anymore because it doesn't move the needle at all. It actually makes it more difficult for me to sell them personally.
Right, because you have to justify the price. You have a triple head, you got to justify that. Otherwise, you're like basically crapping out your own project. So it makes sense to take off the hets if you're going to sell them.
Yeah, and it had to, because I guess a lot of that stuff I was like putting it on there, and like the market was doing this, and I'm like, $40, purple head, goddamn, like, and that's a mahogany, and it's this, it's that. I started racing pied, racing clown. That's heck clown. Yeah, if you find
that's probably how I ended up with getting further in the project than I had expected. I put out a video today. I had 2 clutches where I proved out the female to be heifer hypo, and I didn't even know. And I've bred them multiple generations already. They're not like the ones that I bought. They're like granddaughters of animals that I've had. So now I can go back and test their grandparents and test their great grandparents or whatever siblings. And Charlie's probably going to get rich off of me, but
the only reason I'm like,
I want to know. I want to know what they are.
I'm only like talking this stuff because a lot of stuff has come back to bite me in the ass. Like I would sell some of this stuff cheaper on the table, right? Just say mahogany double head, heck clown, heck ghost, whatever. I put it out there and it didn't sell, so I dropped it to $50 or something. Now 3 years later, when I started making that stuff, I'm having people send me pictures of their clown ghosts. You got that $50. Like, god damn it. Like, I'd rather just put it up in oblivion for nothing. I gave it to somebody, right? So I have to be so careful with doing that forward because, like I said, I'm making my own competition. So it makes cheap.
I'll tell you a funny story. I produced some animals that were, double hets when I was expecting. I wanted to hold back a visual het or a double visual. And I didn't hit any of that in the clutch. I just kept hitting double hets or het plus a 66% het for the other one. So I'm like, I don't feel like testing this. I just sold them all, right? Meanwhile, I'm still trying to work that project, but the people that I sold it to send me pictures of hitting those double visuals.
Yes. I just had it happen with a close friend. Like I said, I sold him a couple animals. He put them together. Kaboom. I'm like, well, damn. Then, like I said, a girl I didn't even breed. Like I grew all the way up and basically was like, I'm going to move this because I had this growing up behind it and all that stuff. Instead of breeding her, I moved her. We'll drop 12 eggs on him today. Well, son of a bitch, he's going to hit more clown ghosts than that goddamn clutch that I made in 7 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell me about it. I'm in that project.
And like I'm happy because, like I said, the guy's close to me. Well, I did it with whatever. I'm very happy for him. But I look back and go, man, I probably should just drop the heads off that because, like I said, it didn't move the needle that much for value wise. It should just whatever. If that went to anybody else, I probably would have just said, it's that ghost or it's that clown. It's not heifer both, right? Like I said, it's just I'm getting like I said, moving forward. I just thoughts are in my head going like, I think we're just making sometimes like. Certain things and giving too much whatever with it what it is it is powerful. Today nobody cares about the baby that's triple head, but if they had the adult triple head like Chris is saying, a vanilla, that thing's a gold mine. So people don't understand the value in actually buying a baby and growing it up right now, and that's what's like hurting a lot.
Yeah.
I sold a male, so someone bought a male.
Did they buy it for breeding purposes or buy it because it was cheap?
I think he's going to use it to plug the hets into something.
Right.
He's going to shed test. He's going to buy a triple head. Yeah. It's a 100% triple head. So he wanted vanilla. He wanted to get vanilla in his stuff, and it's triple head. So, he can use it for true ghosts, xantha clowns, or hypo clowns.
Right.
I mean, the males are not going for much, but it's a great way to get into the project.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my puzzle.
Yeah.
All I could afford was a $450 het puzzle male. Back when I was starting out, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to do puzzle. I'll just buy this animal right here, and it's from Sean Bradley, and then bred it, kept the females, bred them back to all the females. And then, boom, I hit like all of these puzzles that are either also visual for hypo or heifer hypo.
Damn! So you got your puzzle from a het puzzle. You started your
just a het puzzle. That's all I got. It was just didn't even have hypo in it. I put them.
Yes,
I put him.
Started with like het to het.
Crazily, this was also before this whole like spider is taboo kind of thing. So I had a spinner, a hypo spinner, lemon, I don't know, whatever, pastel, whatever it was. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll just try to combine hypo and pastel. And of course, like, I got the head hypo, and then they were all 50% het for puzzles, right? So it was even more difficult to hit a bunch of puzzles with that pairing because I had to deal with the spider, like trying to miss on spider.
Okay.
But I still ended up in the puzzle game. So
Yeah,
and
spider
now,
usually hits heavy too.
The more
Yeah.
the story is, if you breed it, it will come. Like literally, like it goes for any damn snake you got, right?
right.
I know I do.
Stick to it.
The only way you can get it is if you try.
Right.
Yeah. And
Kai,
now you can do it smartly with shredtesting.com.
since you said about the spider, Kai, and I know how that you used to love the spider as much as I do. Are you still working much of it, or is it more of a you just enjoy them for yourself now?
No, I don't have it anymore. I feel like they don't sell, and so I don't want to breed them because I can't sell the babies. Like, what am I gonna do? Can't rehome it. So yeah, I mean, I still have one, but I'm not gonna breed her anymore.
It sucks because I like spider clowns and
I
zebra
do.
bees. They're so
Spider-
freaking
I do.
cool looking.
Spider was a huge hit for us. I had my most genetically powerful snake about 5 years ago, raw spider. I had super orange screams and yellow bellies and everything in the world attached to them. Fire, you name it, it was attached. So when I had it come to a real bad crossroad a couple years ago, and I literally let all the genetics walk out this house, but I was with Kai. It's not about selling them. I sell spiders that was probably better than I sell half the shit. It was basically putting more of this out there for other people to do was my biggest dilemma, because they're going to make it, and they might not have a name like Triforce or Lucas Landon or whatever. They're going to be the ones stuck with them, right? And then they're just going to keep shifting them all over the place. And everyone that's out there is another snake that has potential to make whatever better babies for the future. Is one that isn't bought if they bought a spider growing it. So that was my reason in stopping spider. I had nothing to do with because I didn't like the gene anymore or anything. I just knew it was heading into a realm of where it wasn't going to come back from.
Right. Like, I'm at the point where if I like it, I'm gonna keep it. But if it's just for breeding, then I'm not gonna breed it.
Right.
I'm just gonna get out of that. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, like, when I started researching this project, the bumblebee to me is like the Pompeii to anybody who's getting it now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That was the pinnacle, man.
Yep.
I agree.
So, so people coming in now are like, well, the Pompeii. How much are Pompeii's now? I don't know, but they were like $2-3 grand when I was looking at ball pythons.
What, Pompeii's?
No, the bumblebee.
Oh, bumblebee, yeah.
When I was looking into this ball python stuff and thinking, like, how could I breed them and things like that,
they were still around $1,000 when I started back in 12. So yeah. My first snake was a spider and a pinstripe. I bought 2 males, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just buy normals and make spiders and pinstripes. They're worth a couple $100 a piece. That's how I started. Like, well, that lasted a whole month. But, you know.
Yeah, even banana bees are cool.
Spiders awesome, dude. Like I said, no matter how much everybody preaches, but like, oh, I love it, because everybody says it. Every breeder I know says it. Nobody sits there and be like, oh, spider sucks.
Yeah.
They will go, oh, I love spiders.
Freaking eat great.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy, those bumblebee clowns, dude, in Exantic with some fire or vanilla on top. Oh my god.
So
These things would be lightning.
Just even the zebra, like, and that's the thing. Like, that's, in all honesty, that's the only thing that keeps. Like, I enjoy spider in general. Like, there's a few animals that I want to hit that they have to have certain pets to them in order for them to stay here. That's the whole reason why I only have what I have right now, because I haven't been able to hit the visuals that I need with the other hats. But like with the Exantic stuff, I mean, come on, spider and Exantic, like, they're not the tops of freaking zebra.
Yeah.
Like, that's just that one animal. You put it on a show. It's black and it's white, and it pop.
You can go down
Dude, like a
wormhole with
bumblebee
this.
true ghost clown. Oh man,
Dude, that would be awesome. Yeah.
that'd be
And
There's a
the
wormhole.
spider didn't even need calico because it already had the high white sides.
Yep, the calico just made it insane, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's nothing really still to this day is as oppressive as a super high white calico freaking spider combo.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, but this community, like I said, it's toxic. Like I said, we took ourselves down a road, and then people latched on it. They freaking listened to all the words. They didn't look for themselves. Half the spiders I had didn't have wobbles. They ate great, but they listened, and we're now forced to deal with this. No different. Like I said, it's wormhole, lesser gene. Anything that has lesser gene devalues it damn near. Like I said, whether people want to talk about that or not, it's one of the baddest ass genes in ball pythons, color wise. Thing. Calicos, orange dreams. You show me a better snake than an orange dream yellow belly, calico yellow belly or something like with butter gene or something in it. It's nuts. But like I said, we as a community decided, someone at some point decided, what's the cool gene? Why is it worth this much? And why is everybody chasing that? Like a Pompeii, for instance. Like I said, I hit them. It was phenomenal. They were cool. But I tell you right now, I can name 100 cooler snakes. 100 of them, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I can add them genes into the Pompeii and make Pompeii even cooler. But the Pompeii by itself, like I said, it's a spot nose, black pastel, yellow belly, red stripe, clown.
To an extent, it's a breeding nightmare.
Yeah, we are literally, like I said, it's like a lot of what happened is a lot of people lost their own path to make just cool ass snakes. Listen to what everybody else is doing. By the time they start making it, that's why the price drops, because now there's infinite amount of this shit.
Yep.
Now, literally, you're looking in going, oh my God, that thing was freaking $10,000 2 years ago. Now it's $2,000. Oh shit. But the thing is, what you forgot along the way is beyond Pompeii, beyond the freaking all these snakes, beyond puzzle hypo. Now, how cool would a freaking, like I said, a bang puzzle hypo be, or a freaking monarch puzzle hypo, or right? Ultra.
Yeah.
It's beyond. It's beyond. If you hear it, this is the best advice to give anybody watching. If you hear the gene, you see the snake, your next step should be not making that snake anymore. It's what you can do better with that snake. If you can keep that mentality, you'll make it as a ball python breeder. That's what it's all about. If you strive to make that, get stuck in the sand, and that shit gets stuck real quick.
Well, it's like you said, we're basically breeding our own competition.
Yes.
So if you're not constantly upgrading genetics, making new combos, throwing new things into those projects, you're basically out of a job essentially, because you're selling everything off to other people that's making the same thing as you. So you gotta keep making that byproduct on your end that your customer base can keep using
the
to upgrade their stuff.
The byproduct move, though, depending, like I said, a pet person has no idea what a het means. They have no idea what a genetic means. They just see a cool, pretty snake, and that's how you start. Your next tier is your guys that come in. They buy a bunch of pet snakes, and they start watching videos like Kai's videos and Brian Barczyk past and all that. Then they go, oh, wow, you can start adding shit. Now they do second tier, but they don't want to spend crazy amount of money yet. That's that $200 to $300, $400 range. Then they get serious. Now they're like, oh, shit, dude, did you see that freaking hypo puzzle? Holy shit, did you see that thing? That thing's $3,000, $5,000, whatever freak it is. How can I make that? Now they're going to buy that het that Kai's going to make, because he's going to keep his visuals for the most part, females or whatever. Now you buy the het. But don't do what Kai's doing. Don't go for blah, blah, blah. Take orange dream, yellow belly, something, and make your own freaking hypo puzzle. Now, basically, Kai has his space where he's making these cool-ass genetics. You have your space. Now you buy them together. Now you mix them. So now you want both of you to do the ultimate combos later on. And still thinking ahead, like, can I get this bang? How can I get this super bang? How can I get this super orange dream? It's never going to end, dude. Your lifetime can't fulfill what you can actually make. So if you're 30 years old, you can breed for another 40 years, you'll never hit the pinnacle of whatever you're shooting for if you keep moving the needle.
Yep.
If you literally keep your same girls and your same males and you're like, oh, they sold really well, I'm going to do that pairing again. If that's your goal, you're going to be sitting next to me at the show. I'm going to looking down going, it's a new season. Are you ready? If the byproduct I'm selling is some of your top shit that you're putting back in your racks, don't do that.
Well, I think that's kind of it too. Like where when we first start, we're appealing to pet buyers. Then we work our way up to appeal to breeders, and now we're kind of trying to go back to appealing to pet buyers.
Like I said, not everybody's going to get this concept. Like I said, this is what a show like this is for. A couple people listening, somebody might go, some light bulb just went off. Maybe John said something that hit a nerve. Not everybody's going to get it. That's why literally there's not 1,000 freaking ball python breeders that made it that all do the Oaks freaking show. You know what I mean? Like we're not in there and there's 10,000 breeders deep. So people are going to fall off. People are going to whatever. They didn't get this information. But if you want to like move forward in the next year, and make this fun, excitable, keep going, you have to keep climbing that ladder. Keep making them cool ass hats. Like I said, as soon as you do a double recessive project, it's a start over, man. It might as well take, like I said, you were literally back to ground one and be like,
reset.
Oh shit! I just did orange dream yellow belly, but that fire, shit! I don't got fire in this shit. Well, back to fire. But he's not going to do just fire. He's going to be like fire, black pastel. This gene. And then he jams them in there that year, and he gets 4 years ahead again. And then he goes, oh, man, I just got banged. Start it over again.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen this once. I got, you get rid of a couple females and you're like, oh, when's the last time I had an inch of yellow belly in my racks? But you're like, oh, wait, it's a triple head. That makes it a little bit easier. But you're like, wait a minute. My rack is like, the genes are going down kind of, but they're heavy on the other side. It's wild.
People ask me all the time, John, you have Citron gene. Why didn't you put it into everything? I go, because it's a fucking reset button. It's easy for me to make the NCs and the black pastel because now I got the visuals and whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I have sporadically took it and dumped it over here, put Mojave in it or put another gene just because I want to see what they do, Spang gene, whatever. But it is a rebuild process from that moment.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's easier said than done, man. When you had to hit that hard reset, it's a reality check.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a smack.
Especially if you get a year where they don't go.
Oh, that's that. Or the odds don't line up.
Oh.
Yep. Or you do what Jeremy does and you make 4 males. And you're trying to...
John, you're spoiling the video, you ass. Don't listen to him, everybody. Don't
They came out of the egg. Jeremy's like, oh no, Bill. Oh no.
Oh, dude, I got a video coming out this week. Oh, don't watch because it's freaking going to be. Shut up, man. Nobody's gonna watch it whether it's freaking whatever. You're gonna hear that music and start banging their head and be like, yeah, it's a Warp for March video Wednesday freaking afternoon.
Yeah, 4 males, yes.
Dude, I will say I've gotten so bad with releasing on a consistent date now. Like it's like I think it's like it used to always be Wednesdays, then it moved to Thursdays, and the way my work schedule's been, and with when I've just gotten time to film and stuff, it's now become like Friday. It's just.
So now that all that said, Pi, do we have any Desert Ghost head Xanthics or Xanthics head Desert Ghost coming in?
Oh, he got better, dude. You need to watch today's.
I know video. He can make the full visual. I can't afford a full visual. I'm still a little. I can't sell enough snakes to freaking hit that freaking chain. That's why them freaking things sit at the top. That's why we all just roll over my. They sit there and they go, "Oh, the ball python market's dead. Oh, can't afford that one. Give me that head. Give me that freaking visual head. I'm down." You got anything coming?
I sold them already, John. Sorry.
What's that? I know we sold last year's stock. I need one for this year.
Oh, this year there's a collection in the incubator.
Okay.
So
any genes? Anything crazy?
Quite a.
Did you just
Gotcha.
Back to Morph Market. I'm scrolling, buddy. Love you.
What are you looking for?
He's looking for like a DG Xanthic.
I'm looking for a DG. I'm looking for something with a gene. Any gene that's cool. Like I'm not even like I'm not really worried about pastel or not because I got pastel on some of the girls, but something cool, basically Xanthics or VPI, head for the other. I want one or the other freaking head. I'm not going to do double head to double head because it's just I'm weird like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
find that.
I don't think it's this clutch in particular that just landed doesn't have anything cool. I think for you,
even if it's a sick ass DG or Xanthics, if it's a sick ass Xanthics,
what if it's a double visual? Would you want that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you know then.
Yes.
But but like I told you, I'm snake poor until we get this freaking money train rolling again. Come
I
on,
was gonna
Trump.
say, if you
Get
were
that freaking shit going up. Let's go.
if you were coming over to the TSK side, I did the DG clown to a TSK had hypo.
Yep. Double
Ooh,
visual
that's
work.
nice.
Yeah.
Looking
What
for
double
it.
visual
Yeah.
going for the Xantix or VPI? I haven't even looked in a while.
I don't know.
I know they were way up there for a minute, and then they came down to earth for a little bit, but they're still up there.
Well, I mean,
I feel like they're still up there. I haven't looked for a while either.
Again, it's supply and demand. There's not really much of that around, so it justified a price. Like I have no problem with something expensive, and you just can't buy it.
Yep.
Well, I think
that should have value.
That's the one thing though that like people seem like they always want something for nothing.
Well,
they don't look at how much work went into producing that animal, how much time went into missing the odds of creating that. I'm a perfect example. 2 years of going after that freaking Xanthic clown, and you know what? Made the Xanthic het clown, made the clown head Xanthic. I've not hit the freaking double visual. I had to buy the ingredients to hopefully ensure that I can hit the sucker this year.
That's the bitch
we'll
about
see.
that, Jeremy. Like I said, like you say that about people, but everybody, even including yourself, everybody wants a deal.
Oh, everybody does want a deal, but I also don't like. A lot of people try to really knock you down hard. I really don't question prices.
If they're pulling up your snake and there's 7 other ones, they can do whatever they want. Somebody's going to say yes.
True.
So it's like, I mean, it depends. Like if you're the buyer or you got to look at it both angles. But if you pull up a snake like a DG Xanthic, say Kai makes one, and it's better than the 6 that are on Morph Market, guess what, man? It's the best one. Either pay for it or don't. That shit, like that just means everything in the scheme of things. But when you pull up a snake and there's 30 listed, and then you're like, oh my God, I have it the lowest of that of everybody. Obviously, it still ain't low enough for that one, in my opinion. Because 30 other people trying to get the same exact value. And you got to fight 30 other people. They don't, unless they know you or listen to you or know anything about you, you were just another sea of snake. You're another snake in a sea of freaking pictures. And if, like I said, some people might be like, oh, I'm going to buy it off him because he has more followers. I'm going to buy it off him because he's been around a couple years longer. Like, that's what it starts coming down to when you start getting into them kind of snakes.
Keith says, a really smart breeder once said your females are employees and your males are subcontractors. So you should have the recessive genes in your females visually.
You can. Yeah, we're definitely moving into that realm of shit. I'm going to tell you,
subcontractor.
3 years ago, it wasn't common to have visual freaking breeder females.
See that, and here's my thought on that. You can get the females cheaper.
Yeah,
if they're the het version.
You weren't touching a clown breeder size for under freaking 1,000 to 1,500, and one that was really good might cost you $2,000 3.5 years ago. I mean, we just fell into this realm where clowns are $400 or $500, right? Like, I remember when I had a couple clowns in here, I'm like, I got some shit. Everybody had heads. But guess what? The world moved really fast in the last 3 years.
No.
Yeah, you can get breeders now for like $200.
I think that, like, when you invest in your females, you should have at least a codom in there that still looks good when you double it up. Like, not yellow belly per se, because if you try to double up on yellow belly, it just becomes ivory. So, like, if you have, like, let's just pick Enchi because it's kind of readily available out there. Enchi or Enchi. So if you have a female Enchi with a visual recessive, you can put a male to it, right? And you can make that Enchi visual. Then you put that back to the female, and now you can double up on the super Enchi. So I think that was one of the things that I was. One of the strategies that I was using when I was purchasing females. I wish I used that strategy from the very beginning, but I had to learn the hard way.
And even with the yellow bellies or the fires, right? The ones that can't really super up. If you have a really kick-ass male, say you're just sitting on a Cypress Cypress, yellow belly, blah, 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 to put to a fire clown. That's a kick-ass pairing because you can end up with, like I said, the enhancer genes on top of your Cypress. Now you don't want to mix them up, which is fine. But again, you have a really powerful snake moving forward. You just keep it off the fire and yellow belly. Now you take it to your codominant mahogany clown or black pastel clown or whatever else you got kicking around. Maybe not even clown at all. Maybe now you turn it into a, let's take this to the recessive heck clown, right? So now you have all them cool genes. You hit your clown in that clutch, it's all het pied or whatever the recessive is, het puzzle. Now all of a sudden, now you have a very, very powerful animal with a lot of freaking firepower to bring back into something that's a single gene, double gene, whatever visual. Just like a clown
you can make the supers. The supers are like good for your breeding projects. Like I had a Powerball ivory het clown male. So you put him to any of the female stuff, you're always going to make yellow belly, spot nose clowns. Right? If I put it to a clown female. So those are like very powerful animals. And that's also one of the reasons why, like, if you include something like a fire or a yellow belly or a black pastel in your combo that's really awesome, it makes it even more difficult to reproduce because you can't double up on it. You know, I can't just put like black pastel on both sides.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna end up with an all black snake. So it's harder for other people to reproduce it. It's harder for yourself to reproduce it. It keeps the value higher. So the more difficult something's reproduce, the longer it holds its value. I hate to keep talking about value because right now I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just throwing stuff together and seeing what I get. Like I said, so the power of shed testing makes you think differently with your parents.
Sure.
It does.
The other time the rules change, just say you have this out of control gene. What if say you want to just like black pastel? It's the best black pastel you'll ever see. Like you've seen everybody's black pastels in Morph Mark or whatever, and you just got this snake that's just as visually striking. That's the snake you start your project with. I don't care if you're making your hets. I don't care whatever. You take it to your double visuals. You take it to your single visual. Because now you're going to get known for a quality of a snake versus just making a snake. If you can literally be like, perfect example is like some of that Scrambler stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at like Marcus Jane's version of Scrambler, and a lot of people are saying they have Scrambler, and I even have Scrambler. And my Scrambler is high, crazy. But the thing is, there's a lot of people think they have it or are saying they have it. When you go through the pictures, they can put whatever price tag they want on that snake. But if it doesn't look like that Marcus Jane freaking Scrambler, I don't want to talk to you. At my stage, right? Somebody else might be like, oh, I got Scrambler. But that's, to me, that's a recipe for disaster because what happens if it's not? What happens if it just doesn't reproduce? It makes more babies that look like itself. The pretty snakes, to me, always make pretty snakes. So it's the number one thing I tell somebody as soon as they start breeding. Buy pretty snakes, whatever, and then start a project. Because if you start snakes, I don't care what the genetic says, with ugly versions of that genetic, I don't care, man. You can take it to the end of time. There's still going to be ugly snakes at the end of the road.
I'll tell you something funny. I was posting snakes to Morph Market last night, and I was posting a super orange dream pied female, right? And originally, I was looking at the prices. Like I just glanced at the prices, and everybody else was like about 650, 700. So I was like, I'll put mine at 700. And then after that, after I posted it, I went back to all the orange dream pies. And I'm like, some of these don't even look like orange dream pies. I mean, mine's a super, and these other supers look like regulars. And I'm like, I'm pricing mine at 800. Damn it! If somebody's gonna get it, they're gonna have to pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what I do with certain things like that, it might have a higher price than the rest of it, right? Or right on the board. Don't sell. That thing's going back in the whole back rack because that thing.
Yeah, it should be.
Yep.
And that's like, I think that's going to be the name of the game moving forward too. Because I think at some point, so much of this stuff's going to be made, right? Whatever, like simple genetic recessives. Not talking about taking this crazy genes and all this shit. I'm talking about like Pastavi, blah blah blah, like yellow belly leopard. Easy bake oven snakes. It's going to have to turn about quality at some point. Quality is going to have to at some point enter our game, and that's going to be what the whatever separates good from bad, or good from like not as good. And I think that's going to be almost like F types, basically, and like cats and dogs and all that kind of stuff. Like basically, it looks better. It does this. It's more expressive. This is why this has this value versus this. No, we're not.
It's funny you say that because I think the same way when I see lace on Morph Market. Every time I see lace, I'm like, it doesn't even look lace. It looks like a vanilla.
Well, bro, like I said, lace gene is a big one. Like I've made snakes that are 100% from lace clutches that are lace, that look lace, They're not even testing as lace, some of them aren't even as good as the ones that sold as lace, and they're lace. So something's going on there, right? Something's attaching to this. Something in the pairings I did attached. A het maybe. A double het did it. Something attached. Could have been a blade gene. Could have been some subtle gene that nobody's even talking about because they're not testing for all these like nuanced genes. Why this has crazy dots and this snake doesn't. This snake has elongated freaking pattern this way and this one has it this way. Nobody's testing for any of that stuff. It's in every one of your freaking snakes you got. It's why my lesser leopard looks different than your lesser leopard. And it comes down to quality. Until there is a band of every freaking nuance that goes on a snake, which is never going to happen. It's impossible.
It's going to be impossible.
It's going to be a quality thing. It's going to be like, you'll never get like, why does this one have shorter eye bands than this one? Why is that one wider? Why does this one have, more brown? Why does one have a hoop on the head and one don't?
The polymorphism in the normals alone is just nuts as it is. Like I just hatched a clutch. It was an Enchi Trojan to a pastel leopard. And I think I hit 3 freaking normals. And you know what? And none of them look alike. But you know what? They just came out. One might be a Trojan, one might be a normal. Like they're still real subtle, but like at first glance, I'm like, really? 3 normals? Just because there is so much polymorphism. You'll get some golden ones, you'll get some lighter ones, you'll get stretched alien heads, you'll get clutter. You just never know. And then we start mixing it.
It's like there's many clutches we've done now. 50% of what I pop out, something pops out of that clutch. I go, what the fuck are you? like no, you just made this hard.
Wait,
now.
This doesn't make sense.
Well, that's not just
it's 2 cinnamon red stripes sitting here, and then one's freaking flamed yellow or orange and freaking red. The other one's brown. What else did it?
A lot of it also depends on like proteins that are attached to the gene, right? Because if certain proteins are synthesized with that mutation, it turns it a certain way. Some of them are look more like what you expect them to look because they have that protein or lack of protein, and other ones, even though they might have the gene, don't look that way because of the proteins.
It's no different from like pretty people making ugly kids, you know what I'm saying? Or the other way around. It's the same thing. Like it just sometimes something happens.
Jeremy's kids are cute. So is Chris's kid.
I was say my kids are cute. They certainly don't get the cuteness from me, though. although I will say Hudson's a carbon copy of me, and he's cute as shit.
You know what they say about couples is,
I know I'm
you guys have heard like opposites attract or something like that. That's actually not true. It's the more true saying is that like birds of a feather flock together. So when you look at your spouse or whoever, and whoever you're attracted to, there's features on them that are similar to yourself. That's why you're attracted to them, because you see it and you see yourself more often than anybody else. When you look in the mirror, you see yourself, right? So when you see somebody who has similar features, you're more likely to be attracted to that person than somebody who looks.
You don't look nothing like me. You talking some crap.
Yeah, Kai, you don't look like me.
No, he's right though. Birds with a feather do flock together, like tricks, right? You're not gonna be with somebody that's not gonna put up with your bullshit.
I don't know how my wife put up with my bullshit.
Well, especially with some of the shit that comes out of your mouth.
You should be in public with me.
What's up, David? Ashley, what's going on? Another channel member.
It's tacos.
Well, I know, it's with the whole normal polymorphism thing, like that bang clutch, dude. Like, there's a couple dark ones. There's some what you would classify as a looking normal, and then there's one. It doesn't look bang. It doesn't look freaking normal. And then John goes, "Oh, that might be that gene that Nathan has popping up with the bang shit that's somewhere attached to."
Every clutch I did, Jeremy, I got that snake. Every time I did a bang, I got that snake. That normal, it looks like way brighter than a normal pattern, brighter, funky, but it ain't nowhere close to bang.
Yep.
I literally just did it. Like I did a Krypton. I did basically clown to freaking cryptic. Krypton. They're all the same. There's nothing else these can be. I had a little trim, but bro, they all have different colors, all the bangs, but they're easily identifiable as bang. And then I made 2 male Kryptons. One was dark and one was that crazy light color.
Yep. And then
You're
it's
gonna-
got a distinct head stamp too, which was funny because I posted a picture in the chat showing off the stuff, and it was funny because John said about the different gene that might be attached in there with Bang, and Nate said how he's produced on average like one per clutch that has that exact freaking head stamp. And say, all right, so there's something to it.
Well, now
what the hell is it?
Imagine that with another gene like just say black pastel or GHI or whatever. Now that's attaching and the bank's attaching. Yes,
fuck that gene.
Yep.
Jeremy, how do you really
I'm
feel?
sitting on literally 15, 20 snakes of that stature. I know they're not Bang, but what the fuck are they? And actually, I can't sit there and say they're not Bang because I made black pastel, citron, Bang, pies. What the fuck is this the head? Like, dumbass. What was I thinking? Putting pie in a freaking Bang. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. With black pastel, that's a me bad. I was hoping, like, oh, I'm going to make pattern like the freaking citron. No.
Nothing.
Fucking head. Hitting a little piece of the tail, and it's brighter than any black
Fuck
pastel.
that gene.
Like, we
But
get
breeding for polymorphism is different than breeding for the mutations.
Yeah.
The I mean, if you're breeding for mutations, it either has it or it doesn't. But if you want to, I guess, excel or
What up, Keys?
What up, T?
excel in that
What
area,
up, Keys?
then you would combine the polymorphism with line breeding, right? Line breeding plus your mutations and combos. I think we do that to a certain extent already. Like every time we have a clutch, if I have a clutch of orange dreams, I'm going to hold back the best looking one, and then keep breeding that one. So,
and chances are your next clutch with that perfect one is better. I mean, or
you get more of the better kind.
Right, or I mean, be the better to better. All of a sudden, you get this freakishly, wow, what the hell happened here? This is even better than I thought. And I've been there. I can't tell how many times I look down. I'm like, this is even crazier. Like, well, now what? Now what do we do?
High OD.
Well, that's what they say. The high OD and the deep orange line.
Well, high OD is definitely different in Orange Dream. The deep orange line, I don't know enough about. But the high orange dream, like a real deal high orange dream, when somebody has it, not just say they have high orange dream because your orange dream's cool. Like that shit's different. It hits pie different. It hits freaking all the combos 100% different because it's so intense. It's so crisp. It's whatever. I only made a handful of high orange dreams now. Like, I mean, I have some really good orange dream regular, but they're not comparable.
So I should have one clutch of high ODs this year.
Yeah.
I actually put was she super enchy high OD. And I threw that. Oh god, it was the leopard acid blitz mail to her. Just trying to make something really freaking cool to throw.
Is there a test for high
stuff down the road?
Is there a test for high OD versus OD?
No,
I
not
think so.
I don't think so, but I do think it does test differently. If I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is it testing different, or is it full of that close on the allele and all that bullshit?
Yeah, I think it does test differently than OD. Don't quote me on it, though, but I thought I heard that somewhere.
That'd be really interesting if they when they come out with that. How different is it? Because I do think a lot of genes are as we're seeing, are falling into complexes that we never knew before. Like it was just even a couple years ago before people even knew Enchi was in the black pastel complex, which was like, oh my god, Enchi! Like it doesn't look anything like a cinnamon or any of these other snakes had red. And so there are snakes I still think are falling down into these complexes, and it just like every other complex, it's whatever, right? It's a different color palette.
I really like what black pastel and Enchi do.
Oh yeah,
Well,
love
Chris,
it.
what are we up to now? 4 black pastel tests. Last
Yes,
night,
three, I think.
it was 3, but then another
3?
person somebody else has put out that there's another black pastel.
Wow.
Well, they got E in line.
Well, again, you're calling it Ian line, but it's not even like testing.
Yeah, we didn't even label it that yet, but it could be the other line.
Barnhart's different than black pastel, but it's black pastel. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's a better version. But I've seen some. Christ, I got black pastel here that is super comparable to freaking Barnhart.
Barnhart.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Are people sending in Huffman sheds as black pastel?
You can have all that going on, right? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That there would be your more. That's what I'm saying. That would be your other lines you're talking about.
I've been making freaking crazy ass dark cinnamon clowns for a couple of years. I held 90% of them back, but I thought they were black pastels.
Yeah.
Somebody tested them like, John, ain't black pastel. I went, well, what is it? Well, it's cinnamon. Huh? I got cinnamon. Don't look nothing like cinnamon. Cinnamon. Dude's going, I know, it's insane. It's dark. It looks like a black pastel. He has the eyebrows. Okay. Whatever. Like, now I'm just going to put it out. I need to come out with a word, right? That just means clusterfuck. And literally, fry my snakes. And I will tell you what I think it is. And when you get it, it's a clusterfuck. Because that's what these genetics are all coming down to.
You can call it a trifecta.
Just call it a gum.
Call it the trifecta.
There you go.
I already came up with the name.
Trifecta.
Everybody thinks everybody has granite, right? There's 45 different mutations of granite. You can just go off when to show with it. Like, so I came up with the name Lags. Looks like another granite gene. Look, another granite gene. Lags. Lags is granite. I want to hear nothing else. Like, that's it.
Well, you can do trifecta. It's either cinnamon, Barnhart, or just black pastel.
Triforce Lags. It just means it's granite. I just don't know which one. It could be any of them.
Let me run the channel sponsors here real quick, and then we're going to dive into some of the other species Kai's working with.
Yes.
I want to make sure we got time to cover that. So.
I'm going to take my shirt off.
Oh, God. All right. Here.
I'm tuning
Hopefully,
out.
everybody, he's got his shirt on when we come back from these.
Sorry, Kai. Watch a replay.
Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Python. Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Check out Chris Shelley over at S Reptilia if you need a high-end ball python, blood python, locality boa, or colubrid. He's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Coco to Go and the Chipper, and he can also hook you up with some rats. So make sure you guys check out Chris over at S Reptilia. Head on over to Triforce Morse if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of laser citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morse. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
Where'd Chris go?
He went to go get a drink. Leave him alone.
You know where he went.
Crisco.
He went to grab his treat.
I had to go use the men's room.
He had to go grab his jar of lube. Chris was getting naked.
Chris got his pants off in the lube. He's ready to talk about bowlings.
He's all
I'm
ready.
outside. It's cold. I got pants on today.
Yeah, well, actually, why do you do this from outside, Chris? Why don't you do it in the snake room where it's warm?
Because he's an outdoorsman, man.
It's stuffy, man. It's like 60% humidity and 80 degrees. I'd rather be outside.
Yeah, my doors are like swelling up.
That's not all it's swelling.
I wouldn't get eaten by all the bugs outside. I'd be outside too.
Oh, show.
So, all right. I wanted to.
Really nice.
You look like you're in like a master closet.
Nod twice if you're okay.
Chris, why are you going to put that out there? That's exactly where I'm at.
It's my safe room.
It looks like a little mail slot behind him there over his left shoulder. Like you peek through.
Yeah.
That's the samurai. That's the samurai sheet.
Sweet.
Hanover. Is that a glory?
Whoa. Oh, nice.
Whoa. Yeah.
Kai isn't messing around.
Did you ever cut sushi with that, or is that just decorative?
It doesn't have a blade.
Oh.
See, that's how he cuts
I
his
mean, it's got a point. I can jab people. That's about it.
Sweet. Bring it to the barbecue. Speaking of which, are you coming?
Nah, I'm not coming. I think we were supposed to go to Japan.
All right, end the show, Jeremy. End the show.
All right, wrap it up.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining.
No, that's cool. I mean, shit, I'd rather go to Japan than Jeremy's barbecue, to be honest. But I mean,
well, now hold on here. Hold on. Think of all the fun things that happen at the barbecue.
If I had the option, I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, I'd rather go to Home Depot than Germany.
You better fight him.
What kind of crap is that?
Is he coming? Is that guy coming? We're gonna be in the.
He's not invited anymore.
Where's it at?
We're gonna be roasting you in the fire pit, buddy.
Chris, now I got the Home Depot music playing in my fucking head.
Oh, good stuff. All right.
Tell us about the rainbow boas.
Yes.
Because I saw you posted a thing on Instagram about them, dude, and that like I don't even remember if I knew you had rainbow boas. Let alone, it looked like you hit like 2 albinos, and I guess the mom looked albino too.
They're hypos, right? Or are they albino?
Yeah, start from the beginning. How long have you been working on these?
Yeah. What did you eat when you were 5 years old?
Sushi.
Do you prefer boxers or briefs?
Commando.
A cup or B?
Let's see. I think the female that I got is a visual caramel, and I got her as an adult.
Wow.
Because I've been raising up a pied Brazilian rainbow boa for a while now.
Oh,
and
cool.
So I wanted to just try the breeding aspect, and I remember when I was doing ball pythons, it's like, let's just start with an adult to see if I can even do it. Like, I don't want to spend any more time raising them up. So I got an adult female that was a caramel. The male, like I said, was a pied. And she was already like up to age, but with Brazilians, it's more of age than size, and she was already up to age. However, I spoke to the seller, who obviously is a breeder, and he said she wasn't ready. I did some research. Turns out like she probably wasn't ready. She's like really thin, and so I just gave her a year to like fatten up. And this 2024, when it came time to do a temperature cycle, I just, like I said earlier, I just wrote down what the schedule should be, and I just followed that schedule, did a temperature drop, and put the male in. I didn't see a lock, but I have heard that they can be pretty quick, especially with the younger males. And I did see the sperm plug in the water bowl, which is a good sign that something happened. Otherwise, why did it fall out, right? Yeah, and I wasn't too hopeful, but when she went off of food, she's a great eater, and I knew that like she might be developing follicles, so I gave her extra meals. But when she went off of food, and she's always in the humid hide because Brazilians really like it humid, so she's almost always in the humid hide.
100%.
And when she didn't come out to eat, I was like, oh no, what's going on? So when I opened the humid hide, she was fat. Like there's scale separation, very obvious.
Oh wow!
And so I just kept an eye on her the whole time. I offered food every once in a while just to see if she'll take it, and once in a while she did.
Do you think that initial? Do you think that initial site was her ovulation, Kai, or do you think she was already past that?
I don't think she ovulated when I saw it. I think she was just full of follicles. Like I said, she was building. Yeah, she was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was just trying to get her up to size. To what I've heard from other Brazilian rainbow boa breeders is that they should be thicker than the core of a toilet roll, toilet paper roll. So as long as you're thicker than that, then you probably have enough size to have a litter in them. Otherwise, they might have complications. Like breeding ball pythons when they're too young.
Stillborns.
Yeah.
Slugs. Exactly. And what month was this that you saw her doing that? Like when you peeked in and saw her like swole. What month was that? Do you remember?
I got it all written down.
I'm just curious.
I started the temperature drop in October, and a total of 5 weeks going from about 87 degrees, continuously dropping down to about 74 degrees by November. And then 3 weeks of November of just keeping them at that steady temperature, no food, and then increasing back up to about 87, 88 degrees. And during the period when it's in the low 70s and also increasing, that's when I introduced the male. And like I said, I didn't see a confirmed lock. All I saw were like a sperm plug once in the water bowl, in his enclosure and in her enclosure. Right. So when I saw it in his enclosure, I knew he was ready. When I saw it in her enclosure, I assumed they locked.
Right.
And like I said, I wasn't too hopeful, but when she went off of food and I saw that scale separation, you know, I knew something was up. She went off of food, and I just kept a close eye on her. And every once in a while, I did an ultrasound, and I recorded the ultrasound twice. So I'm gonna put out a video on that, and I'll have the little clip of the ultrasound so you can see it. The first one was pretty cool. It was like the ultrasound screen, right? Was like had 2 eggs in it, not 2 eggs, 2 follicles in it. And yeah, and you can see that they weren't full. Like the ovum like this, and you can see like half of it was the solid, and then the other, like a crescent shape, was empty. So that was just the fluid. And then the second clip that I'm going to show in my video is you can see the full body.
Wow,
of the baby.
That's going up.
Cool.
Yeah, it was like coiled. It was pretty cool. So you'll
Nice.
see that.
I always wondered how it is like ultrasound alive, or like basically like not eggs.
When you were cooling them, were you keeping them at those temperatures consistently, or or those were just your nighttime lows, and you were bringing their highs back up to a basking of like 88, 89, or were you dropping them consistently day and night for that time?
So my controller doesn't have a day-night setting, so it would just be consistently the same temperature. Like I said, from October, I would just drop them like 4 or 5 degrees every week until I got down to about 74 degrees or something like that. Ideally, I think you want the nighttime, the lows, when you get down to the very low temperature, you want the lows to be around like 72 for the night and maybe like 76 for the day. But like I said, mine didn't have that setting, so I pretty much just dropped down to like low mid 70s, and then I just stayed there for like 3 weeks. During that time, I was introducing the male, and then during the time I was raising the temperature back up, continue introducing the male. They're
Any
very
spraying,
similar.
misting, any of that? Did you do any misting?
No, I didn't do any of that. I just kept the human hides in there. One of the things that I did do that I haven't read anybody doing it, but I just decided to do it anyway, was since I have the human hides in the male enclosure and the female enclosure, and they were small enough that I could fit both of them in one enclosure. When I moved the male, I didn't just take the male out by himself. I took his whole entire human hide out and put it into the female's enclosure. So there was a period of time where the female's enclosure had 2 human hides, hers and the male's. And they would go in and out of their
yeah, but wouldn't that keep them separated?
It's just the human hides, so they have holes to come in and out.
They're in the same enclosure, just 2 separate hides in one enclosure.
Yeah, 2 separate hides. So they had the option of going into one human hide or both going into the other one, and that's probably why I didn't see a lot, is because a lot of times they were in their human hides.
But I'm just saying, having 2, wouldn't that just them want to separate from each other? You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
It wouldn't encourage
I
him to
think if
copulate.
he's throwing out his pheromones, he would follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's ready, he ain't gonna be separated.
Now you got me wondering how cool it would be to like ultrasound an egg at like 20, 30, 40 days.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually do that with. You don't even need an ultrasound if you're going to do an egg, because you can just use a flashlight and you can actually see the snake in there.
You can see a little bit. It'd be cool to, Yeah.
I would be careful though, because the ultrasound needs a gel, and you don't want to like clog all the pores of the egg, because that will suffocate them.
Yeah,
that's true.
Do it on my normals.
When did your female kick on the food then?
What's that?
When did your female start being receptive and kicking back onto food then after the pairing?
That same night, I took all the litters out.
What's that?
When did she go back on food?
Yeah, like saying so you paired October through November when you were cooling. After you were started raising your temps, when did you put her back on food to like after she
Okay.
You know
I
what I
didn't
mean?
put her back on food until it got above 85.
Okay, that's it. Temperature 85.
Yeah, so it was almost towards the very top is when I started, and I gave her a really small meal. It was like it's probably like a small mouse to start that digestive system over again.
Okay.
Same thing with the male. They were all in the same rack, so they all went through the same temperature cycle.
Yes, you can help him eat that.
Now,
Nice.
when you were pairing them, Kai, how long were you letting the male in for?
You don't get enough watermelon.
I was going a 3-week cycle, so 2 weeks they would be together, and then 1 week they'd be separate to feed and rest, and then back together again.
Okay. So it's really cool the similarities between how you were doing that and then what I do with the carpets. Because that's kind of basically, I let the carpets together that whole time that they're breeding. Pull the male out every once in a while so that way I can feed the female, feed him, and then after a couple of days of them digesting, just throw them back in with her.
Now, what do you do husbandry-wise? Because I know they got to be at like 100% humidity.
Not when they're getting bigger. I think not when they get like over the 1 year mark, they don't need that high humidity anymore. When they're hatchlings, you want to keep that humidity pretty high. But like I said, once they're over that 1 year mark, a humid hide is fine. You can just put a humid hide and they can regulate. They can go in and out as they want. I do find that they'll go in there when it's really humid. I'm sorry, they'll go in there when it's the right humidity for them. But if you make it too humid, they'll just hang their head out. They'll like have their body in and their head sticking out.
Oh.
So they'll regulate.
Nice.
Now, with that litter that you got, what were your odds on it?
Yeah, she said tied to a caramel.
Yeah, so they're supposed to all be double heads.
Normal.
Right? That's what I was expecting. They're expecting double heads. Same genetic calculation as we do with ball pythons. If you put two visuals together, you're going to expect all double heads. What was strange about this clutch were, I think you mentioned earlier, you asked earlier, were there's two light color ones.
Yeah.
And I was confused as well. I'm like, how can I hit caramels when I'm expecting doubles? So I spoke to the seller of the breeder of the pied, and to his recollection, there's no caramel in that lineage, in his lineage. So I'm like, all right, well that helps a little bit. So then I spoke to the guy who sold me the caramel, and basically like, hey, how could this happen? What do you think happened? Like, and I asked him because those two light color ones were the only two that had some yolk left. So I asked him if it was something to do with being underdeveloped. Are they lighter in color if they're underdeveloped? I also posted the same question in some forum, and a lot of people did say that color is the last thing to develop. And there's some yolk left, and they're still in the sac, so that's probably why. But then what's interesting was Dr. Warren Booth saw the post. And he came in and he was like, oh, those two are Parthos. The rest of them were fertilized by the male. And I was like, oh, that also makes sense because the pied doesn't have caramel. The female can't. Breeder says that's a virgin female, and the fact that I wasn't expecting any visuals, like all those things line up just by Dr. Warren Booth saying it's Partha. So him and the pied breeder at like around the same time said, if you still have those two caramels, check the sex. And I did, and they're both females. So it totally lines up that those two were Parthos and the rest are double heads.
How many were normal?
Wow. 8.
8. So in a perfect world, the piebald could have sired that, but in Mother Nature, like could have been a whole Partho clutch and you just missed the visual? Because can't you make normals out of a recessive in a Partho? Or does it have to be has to be 100% of one or the other, correct, John?
What happens with Partho is my understanding, it can only use the genes that's in it. So it can make the visual and it can make a normal. All the babies, I guess, at that point would be probably het caramel, right?
No, all the normals shouldn't be het then.
All the normals.
I think in a Partho. But I'm just
so the way the Partho works is the female has a cell. It's not an egg yet, but it's a cell.
Yeah.
And what happens is it divides once, and it's perfect division, right? They both contain all the genetics. It's perfect division.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those then divides again, and at that point, it's half the chromosomes and half the chromosomes. So she's a visual caramel. Both of these are going to have the caramel chromosomes, the mutations, both of these. And what happens?
Heifer pied.
No, the heifer pied is on the male side.
Yeah, the pie doesn't come in.
Yeah, male has nothing.
Right. So both of these are caramel and caramel. Now, in a normal situation, one of them dies. One of them just shrinks and gets reabsorbed by the body. In the case of a Partho, this one didn't shrink. It emerged back together, forming a visual caramel.
Okay.
The other thing is too, Chris, with what you were saying about with the Partho and stuff. If in order for the rest of the clutch to be a full Partho, they'd all have to be female. So if the whole clutch is female, it could be a Partho.
Now the visual caramels, they won't be het pied though, right? Because they're just getting a copy of.
They shouldn't be, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be everything.
Another thing about those that made sense for them to be Partho is they died.
Oh, they did die.
They didn't even make it out of the sack. Like they were wiggling in the sack, and that night, and then the following morning, one of them passed away. By the time I had the conversation with Dr. Warren Booth, the other one passed away as well.
Okay.
So both
wow.
Dr. Warren Booth actually said that's very normal. That's very typical for Parthos because they usually either die almost immediately or they only make it like past the first year. And it's very rarely that they'll make it past the first year.
Really? I didn't know that.
I've got one that's into year 3 or 4.
A Brazilian?
No, not Brazilian, but ball.
Oh, okay.
That
I think
Partho super entry that we think is visual cryptic.
But those other 8 are doing good, though, Kai.
Yeah, they're all in shed right now. They're all like very cloudy looking. They're all in blue. So
cool.
Are they all female?
After I get a couple meals in them, I think I'll check them to see if they're male or female. And you don't have to pop them or probe them. You just like feel it. If there's too little, I've done it before with boa constrictors, which are much bigger than these. These are like so thin. They're thinner than this pencil, than this pen.
They're like average.
That's why I want to. That's why I want to get a few meals in them first, right? Because I don't want to like injure them because they're so thin.
Yeah.
Like a baby chondro.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm worried about these barons when I have to, I have to do them. I haven't even
That's
set
right.
them up.
We'll come down. We'll play.
Yep.
And milks. I know milks, when you rub down, you get that springiness for the males. You rub down their cloacia and their tail, it starts feeling like a rubber band.
It's similar to the boa technique.
That's what Poppy taught me.
One of my biggest regrets I've ever had in snakes so far of rainbow boas. I used to have a male that was het for hypo, a female that was het for hypo, and a visual hypo. And they were all breeder. Huge snakes.
Yeah.
I
had a breeder.
I traded to Rick Kremrine because I used to have womas, and then I got out of womas, and I got womas back.
Rick.
And he ended up getting them. Man, they were the nastiest son of a bitches I've freaking ever heard. I have the funniest story ever with them damn things, packing them to bring to Rick. Long story short,
we were like, all right, I'm gonna put them all in one bin. These guys are calm and they're freaking whatever. They're usually calm. Well, I put one in, calm. Put the second one in, calm. Went to put the third one in, this big freaking 48 quart, whatever. Boom, they shot out like a fucking movie, man. Like a freaking, like one of them things you pick up and hit it. One went one way, one went the other, one went the other way. My God, man, we got bit up so fucking bad before fucking a Hamburg show. I got bit in the face. I got bit in the leg. Christine had bites up and down her. 15, 20 of them a piece. My daughter at the time, but basically, you know, Christine's daughter, Des, was home. That's the snakes. Rolls her sleeves up, runs in the room. She goes, I'm taking one for the fucking team because they're going underneath my rack. We end up catching them. That's the story, my story of rainbow boas.
Worse than Awomas?
Oh, dude, like crazy bitey wise? Yeah, dude. I went to Hamburg with blood running down my face, dude. I got bit in the forehead, my nose, my cheek. I was grabbing them, and they were just going bang, bang.
I had
and I'm like,
I'll tell you what, the two females that I had are pretty docile, but the male pied, once he reached sexual maturity, is like a whole different animal now.
No,
Chris, you held him, right? When you were over, you were holding
he was
that
young, though. He was young.
And it's
he was
not
young, but he was like chill, right? He was just curious. Now when you pick him up, he's like jerking and arching and like doing that thing that retics do, like flexing.
My Dumerals did that shit ever since he bred. Yep.
They were just nasty. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like anybody that hasn't been bit by a rainbow boa, their saliva, something with their saliva burns the fuck out of you.
I haven't felt the burn. I have
my God. I had freaking toxic fucking rainbow boas.
I had 3 of them. I got one off Ian. I got one from Mark Cole on auction years ago.
They were
and then I bought an adult. She was orange.
Did it burn when they bit you?
No, bit Cam though. Cam got bit by her.
Oh, nice.
He's going, oh my God, it burns. We're like, oh, what the fuck, man? Why is this burning so bad? Dude, that was an experience, man. That's like one of the worst times Christine ever got lit the fuck up by a snake.
But they're awesome, though. They look like
so cool.
They remind me of like miniature anacondas.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, you don't see many of them around. Like I don't know anybody that's doing rainbows right now other than you, Guy.
No,
Riley Jimson used to do them, you know, from Riley's Reptiles, but he's West Coast. He's out of California. He doesn't do them anymore. Like he was the only one I knew that did them.
My girl.
So now you're the only one. So
yeah, there's only a few people doing rainbows.
I slugged out when I bred them. I literally got to the end and they slugged out. I was like, I have never successfully bred a boa, and
Boas are tough, man.
Yeah, but I know what I've done. I know what I did wrong now. All the way these years in the future, like it was my temps and stuff like that. I was out of the information wasn't like it is today. Like I didn't do the drops. I didn't do what I was supposed to do temperature wise. They were a little hotter than I was supposed to, and my temperature gun wasn't as that accurate.
Hey, Brittany.
So I know today what I could have done different, but again, it's just going through the freaking the motions, right? The experience.
Yeah, some species just don't work well. Like for me, it's the boa constrictors. I cannot get them to breathe. Like I've seen locks. One of them, the first female that I had that was up to size. I think I told some of you the story already. She died. She died before even giving birth. I have one right now that's massive. She's not even supposed to be that big. She's supposed to have like dwarf lineage. She's like the biggest thing I've ever seen. I can't even pick her up. Like she's so massive that when I pick her up, I think maybe I'm not cradling her enough, and so she's like swinging around like here, and I'm like, oh no, and then I don't even like take her out by myself anymore because she's so big.
Different animal.
What is she?
Huh?
What is she?
What is she? She's I think hypo blood het for Call albino.
Okay, so you get a little bit of Sonoran blood in there, but not much. She's gonna be big.
Yeah, and I heard the blood is supposed to come from a smaller, like you just said, like
a Sonoran. Yeah, Sonoran, I believe. I think.
I really like that.
What's funny is the one that I had before that was a motley Call het for blood, and because she had motley, I was expecting her to get big, but she didn't get big.
Right. I think Motley's a
She got
Central
smaller.
American.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Central American.
Yeah.
They're supposed to get bigger. So the one I thought that was going to get big didn't get big. The one that I thought was going to stay small got huge.
Central American species stay smaller than the Colombians, though.
Do you still have that girl that you got from Mike?
Yeah, I still have her. And she's growing nicely. Like, she's not exploding in size like that hypo blood female that like just one day I just pulled that out of the drawer, out of the tub, and I'm like, I need to upgrade.
Cool.
That's why I built that 41 quart rack system.
Boas, man, they come far. There's some badass boas out there. I'm like, wow.
But she's done. Like she's still like eating, although she's kind of slow now. She doesn't like jump out when I open up anymore. She'll like stay looking at it, and then I have to kind of tease her, put it in front of her face, because usually though she'll go right after the prey. So hopefully something is happening, but she's not locking with the male anymore. I saw 2 confirmed locks within the same month, so I think she might be done. So I'm just want to wait. I think if my timing is right, I think by late September, if I don't see a litter, then nothing happened.
You didn't see no ovulation, obviously.
You doing anything else?
Cute. I can't even tell.
No,
Anything else outside the box? Like you said, you got that cool ass rainbow boa litter.
Oh yeah, when we getting that
So when we got anything else going outside the box of ball pythons? Something different? Something
expensive?
This guy must have said something. This guy. I do have other stuff. I'm actually going to put together a video of the other species that I keep. I have a couple carpets. I have the Bolins, the dwarf retics, the super dwarf retics.
Which carpets did you get? I don't think I knew you had carpets. I knew you were thinking about getting carpets. I didn't know you actually got
just didn't get them from you.
He said, "You're not the only carpet breeder here, buddy."
They're not.
But damn competition.
They're not the jungle.
Damn Kai.
But they're not the jungles. There's a Darwin and there's a Reptiles.
Okay. Yeah.
He said he's doing the more desirable.
Were they the ones that you sent me pictures of asking me about them? What I had thought of them or something? I do remember the Reptiles you talking to me about.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of the hybrid.
Okay.
It was an albino Reptiles, so it was hybridized. And I was just asking you what the community thinks. I think it's kind of split, right? Some people think it's cool, and other people are like diehard locality.
We're always going to have that.
Yeah, no matter what species.
I'm just playing it I'm just playing around, you know.
Is that what you want to do? Albino Darwin and the
So I got the Reptiles shortly after I learned that Bolins need multiple males for a female.
Really?
All right.
It's recommended.
Yeah, so it's opposite of ball pythons, where you could put one male to several females. With Bolins, the females get excited by the fact that there's multiple males. And Justin actually...
No comment.
Yeah.
Bolins are pretty.
It reminds me of my ex-wife. Sorry, go on.
What's her name? What's her name?
Divorce.
Her name is Bolin. Yeah, so they need multiple males. So that's why I didn't want to get another Bolins. So I thought if I get something similar, so I decided to get a male Reptiles, and maybe sometime down the line I might pick up like a male scrub python as well. I know this guy has male scrub, so I might borrow a shed from you if I need it. So that's the whole point, is to maybe stimulate the female for her to think that there's multiple males with sheds from similar species.
I like it.
So is that how they breed them? They'll put
box.
like 2 males in with a female? And I guess they kind of one locks, hopefully.
Well,
right. The dominant one, or whichever one the female likes better, will lock. Justin actually posted it because Justin is breeding his Bolins as well, and he started out with a pair. I think he said they did not lock; they were not successful initially. But then he got a second pair, so he has a 2.2 now. And what he did was he introduced the younger male with the original pair, and he finally got a lock. So it's the bigger male with the bigger female that locked, and the little one is just hanging around.
Crazy, man. Sounds all like olive python breeding.
And it's very risky for me. In my mind, that's very risky because Bolins are cannibalistic. So the female could have very well just ate the little male.
Sure. Or the male start beating them up.
That's a very expensive meal.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to be very vigilant on that. You know, it's not
ball python in there.
Oh yeah, you're watching that one. You're sitting there like that. Like, what y'all doing?
And that's why I don't want to. Obviously, I don't want to spend money to buy another male Bolins. But even if I did, I would not put two males in there that are smaller than the female because there is a chance that one of them is going to get eaten. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll just go the shed route. Just throw some sheds in there.
If you do go that crazy route, guy, you better videotape it and hope it goes viral to freaking make the money to buy you another one.
I won't need another one. I won't need
expensive snake eaten.
You just got to be vigilant, man, and just stay on it, man.
Yeah, throw a couple normals in there.
Oh my
God! That's what happened to Kevin over at Nerd. He even posted a video about it. Like he was like, "This was the most expensive meal." I don't think it happened with Bolins. I think it was a different species, but the cannibalistic ones, the females will eat the males, or sometimes you even get the male that eat the female.
Better hope that shit goes viral.
I think you could definitely try that, Keith.
Yeah, even with pull it out like a tampon.
Right. Even with another male show competition, I feel like sometimes when you have the different males in there, it's the multiple and the constant stimulation. I think sometimes that helps some of these species continue to go because I think you could you can run the gamut for 2 months and putting your male in and out. But if that third month is when your male is receptive, and even though that male locked in those first 2 months, sometimes I feel like that non-constant male being in there continuing to push her and push her and push her. I think that also has an influence on some of these species.
I think we're overthinking it, man. I think the one male's distracting while the other man gets a hit.
It sounds like
I'm over here. The woman's, the girl snake's in there like, I'm gonna eat you, son of a bitch. His buddy goes around and gets him from the rear row.
Yeah, like Bolins are having some Diddy parties.
Yep, and then the other ones were
some freak offs.
Yeah,
they're like, this is my wingman. This is my wingman. He's gotta take him from the team.
Yep, it's a tag team at that point. Holy shit. Oh man.
Well, even at that though, I mean, there's not many people with Bolins, so I mean, in theory, if you wanted to, if you could get into good graces and contacts with everybody, you guys could just send sheds back and forth. If you wanted to just do that, I mean, it'd be something to help avoid having to buy a whole nother male. Worst case scenario.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to do the male. I mean, somebody asked about putting the male in a bag. You can definitely do that to keep them safe, but I just don't want to spend the money for another male Bolins.
For sure.
So we'll just try the shed route.
I got male scrub sheds now, man.
Looked up a price on a male Bolins or any Bolins. Are them snakes even available?
You gotta know the right people.
Every once in a while they come up. I know Gary Shavino. A lot of times he's got stuff available if it's up there.
Nerd too.
Does Nerd have them?
Nerd's way overpriced.
Yeah. Nerd puts. I've seen him put up a pair.
I got the hookup. He's got the plug, man.
No, I paid market value for those. The male I got from Mark Miles, who is one of the first to breed them here in the U.S.
Oh wow!
And the female, no, the other way. The female is from Mark Miles, and the male I got from who Jeremy just mentioned, Gary Shavino. And he got them. He made a video. I mean, he didn't breed them. He imported them, or he got them from a friend. I forget the whole backstory. But, they're all like
he does a lot of that collections or not collections, but clutches.
Yeah, so and he's here. Like I met up with him in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
No shipping, no transit, none of that stuff.
Nice.
Meeting up and
they're expensive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Enlighten us. What is one on
like
one
a ball python collection?
Yeah,
quarter of it.
John's gonna say the hell with these balls.
Oh hell no, man! I ain't spending no $12,000 on a snake. You lost your mind.
Is that what they are right now on?
Yeah, there's 3 of them available for $12,000.
That's what nerd wants.
I know. I will say that they're really cool.
One
they get decent size though. Like they got bigger than what I expected.
Oh yeah, they're big. They're big snakes, man.
And they're boreal, right?
Semi.
Yeah, I think they're semi or boreal. Yeah,
they do like to climb.
They like the higher altitude.
Yeah, you can see their body shape, like how they're shaped. You can tell that they like to climb.
Yep.
Now they pretty hardy, pretty easy to care.
Yeah, I mean, right now I got them in the enclosure. They also have a humid hide because I don't know if they like it more humid or less. They seem to sometimes use it, sometimes not. I just keep it in there because they're in the same rack as the rainbows. So when I check on them, I check on all of them. When they need the water, I give them all the water.
They're good rackable, basically. They're doing real well in racks.
For now.
Yeah, I mean, because they're still young right now, and I put them in the 41.
Yeah,
right.
No, I get it.
Obviously, yeah, because it's like if we're using like ball python standards, it's like a hatchling in a 20-gallon.
My womas live in a rack, like, and they thrive in them. I know certain species I know you have to switch them into some kind of enclosure at some point. Bolins, I would expect definitely an enclosure at some point, a big ass enclosure, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna take down my saltwater tank, which is 6 foot, takes up 6 foot in my house. It's like a bathtub. I might put the Bolin's enclosure there. The other thing I'm contemplating is putting the ball python enclosure on the other side of the room that has the windows and incorporating the window as part of their enclosure. So in the winter, because Bolins do need a temperature drop, and they drop significantly lower than any of the other species I have. They can probably go down to, I heard, like 50s, something like that.
Wow.
So I think in the winter, I can just leave the window cracked, let the outside air come in, and just naturally lower the temperature over the winter as the temperature drops.
Yeah.
So that's
I like that idea.
That's sick, bro.
Chris, I mentioned to you before that I was thinking of using a shower stall as their enclosure because you got the glass doors. It's already glass. It's already pre-made. I mean, it's going to be a little expensive, and then the entire shower is already watertight, right? It's like waterproof, and you got the drain in. You got the drain at the bottom, exactly. Yeah.
Big
you can just
rainstorm.
spray it down when you're done. You want to clean them, just spray it down. Let it drain away.
Shower up with a rain head. You know, yeah. You could just run it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's totally the route I would go if I ever invested in Bolins. I would get a shower and just boom, that would be their enclosure.
That's actually good.
It's gonna be a little weird. Like somebody will come in and be like, "Why is there a shower in the middle of your room?"
Yep. You do plants, logs, all kinds of crazy malls.
Yeah.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
That's an interesting question. How many of you guys have your name trademarked?
I don't have mine trademarked, honestly.
Yeah,
I got the LLC done, but that's it. I didn't
the only
trademark
one?
anything.
Chris, are you the only one with your name trademarked?
Yeah.
I just asked a question about it, or girl, I don't know.
Yeah, she was yapping.
Spicy asked, if you're taking questions, can you all give your input on trademarking a name for a small business time or small time breeding business? Yay or nay? Wait till the company is in full motion or before even starting.
I mean, the reason I did it was because I was just having issues with people taking it. Yeah, there was like Balls Deep Exotic, Balls Deep Python.
Other searches were happening.
Yeah.
That's
so,
what I was going to think.
Well, let's put this in context. Though. There are a lot of guys around a bar drinking. They're going, Balls Deep, bro. Yeah, dude, we're going to name it that, right? So Chris said, I'm putting a squash to all that shit.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're not worried about people stealing the name and stuff, I wouldn't even bother.
What did it cost you, Chris? Like,
I don't think it'll hurt.
What was the process?
It was so you go through the trademark. I went through LegalZoom, and they did a lot of the process for me. They fill out all the major forms. They just messaged me like my packaging, I had to send them pictures of my logo. I had to prove how long I've been using the name. I sent them screenshots of like my Facebook and the date, my Instagram and the date, stuff like that. My stickers, my T-shirts, my snake boxes, and they filled out all the legal forms. And then I think it was like $1,800, and it came with like yeah, and then I think it was like a you get legal service, like they'll send out a cease and desist letter for you if anyone uses the name.
Use it,
yeah, so it's like a lawyer fee, whatever.
Yep. Like I said, we looked into it briefly because like when Chris did it, the reason we didn't do it was basically like if anybody who wants to steal my name, first of all, and if you do, God bless you. Like at that point, like Jeremy, same thing. It's your last name. Like you have to have another guy come out and say that.
So well, the problem was I'll gamble it with mine. That's for sure.
You'd have to have
the problem
two
was
kids
there was
named
Lucas and Landon, in Florida. There was a guy in Florida using balls deep pythons, and I was getting like messages like, "Hey, that snake I got from you at the show, it's like it's got an RI and this and that, and it's sick." And I'm like, "What are you talking?" Like,
there was a.
I was like, I wasn't in Florida. I wasn't inventing a show in Florida. Like, so they would mix me up with this dude that's like basically a snake flipper.
Before Chris, like I met Chris when I got into snakes, basically, there was a big time guy on YouTube that was balls deep pythons, and supposedly he had a real bad problem with his collection. Something happened. He ended up yanking all the videos. He put it out there. It was like IBD and all this kind of shit. But he had a lot of followers. And then I met Chris. I thought he was him. Literally. And I talked to Chris like when I first met him. I was like, bro, man, whatever happened to your collection? Like, da-da-da. And he's like, what the fuck you talking about? I was like, there's another ball deep, dude. Like,
yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah. So I guess it comes down to like your name, right? Like if it's something that you think is gonna be trendy that everybody takes, yeah, maybe it's definitely worth investing. But if it's something like obscure to you, like I see it says I love ramen or spicy ramen.
That's pretty.
Another spicy ramen love guy out there, like you're probably good to go.
You've got spicy noodles.
Yeah, you got spicy
exotics.
noodles. Right?
I say spicy noodles exotics. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other ramen. I'm actually going to type it in and see if there's any ramen on.
I think if you're only how do I want to put it?
Royal Ramens is a name on Morph Market, so that's the only thing that came up though.
Oh, okay. Like if you're only looking at it as a small time breeding business and you're not looking to make it like a giant career thing, like where that's your sole income. Like I don't know if I would really worry about it.
Yeah,
if your name is unique enough that it won't be just accidentally taken, I think you're all right. I mean, the only thing you have to worry about in those cases is somebody who maliciously is doing it just to take your name by your domain or something like that. So if you could, I mean, one way to circumvent that is just go out there and get your own domain now. You know, it's only like $10 a month. Just get your domain. If there's any new platforms that come out, just go out there right away and just register your name. Make that account already. I know when like Facebook shut down the whole selling of animals, and then the other platform came out like Vero or something like that. I was joking around with my friends. I was like, I already made an account with your name. I already made an account with Warfold. I made an account with BNS. I made an account with Triforce. I made an account with Canova.
You'll never guess who owns mine. The Triforce on URL, whatever, the domain of it. Fucking Nathan.
That doesn't surprise me.
Really?
He did. He went and bought it. I said, "You son of a man." I laughed so hard because I own you now, motherfucker.
What a great thing. I think he's going to get it back to you.
But he made sure to lock it down for us when we started because we didn't think about any of that stuff back then at all.
That means he owns all of us for the most part.
If you guys didn't do it, he probably owns you too.
Yep.
I remember when that Vero came out and like that was going to be the next big thing, and now you don't hear shit about it.
No.
Right after it came out, all of these articles about Vero came out, like who actually made it, why they made it, and how it's been sitting around on the shelf for so much time, and like It's just there to like steal your information, and we all just went in there blindly and created a bunch of accounts.
Yep.
I didn't.
Wait
What did they say?
Wait until he launches all of our new sites.
Sweet. Just give me a percentage. I just
Dude,
need a
I'll
little
never
bit.
forget that day. I'm sitting there and I didn't even think about this. He's like, he hits Christina. He's like, I own you bitches. I was like, what? So he basically we got for us the domain or whatever. I still don't know exactly what that all entails and means. That's how computer illiterate I am, but it was pretty funny. Hey man, here. You can have it.
This is what's going to pop up on everything under your name, John, at the moment.
I thought he was popping on tonight. What a bum.
He's busy. He's busy stealing domain names.
He's registered for more
Jeremy, that's
domains.
all the
right
farther that goes on this.
He's building the websites right now.
All right, Kai, you landed the Brazilians. What else for 25 are you super excited about? Let's tie it around with that. What do you like this year? What are you ecstatic for to see happen? Snakes, koi, garden, plant, whatever.
I mean, all the stuff that I mentioned. Obviously, I can't breed those other species because they're not up to size yet. The boa, like I said, I'm just waiting until September to see what happens. She's either going to give me a litter or I'm failed again for the second year in a row. I think I'm starting to get back into the mindset of the ball pythons. Once all the koi stuff and the garden and all that stuff is all set up, and that can be like managed by the kids. Get back into the ball python stuff. So that's going to be pretty cool. Like I'm going to have, hopefully I can make some sunsets. Yeah.
What genes you putting in the sunset, Kai? What genes you putting in the sunset? Like anything like that really hasn't been shown.
So I'm tackling sunset in two directions. In one direction, I have a bunch of codons, yellow belly, orange dream, jungle woma, and chi. So I'm trying to add some codons into sunset, just codons into a plain sunset. And then the other direction is with other recessives.
Okay.
But the key that I'm using is the male. So the male is, even though he's a het, he's triple het for sunset, tide, and candy. So if I'm using the same male in both directions, they're going to eventually tie back together.
Sure.
With the help of shed testing, Charlie, yay.
Has candy sunset been done yet?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's going to be similar to Ultramel.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be brighter because the candy is lighter than the Ultramel. I think one of the hurdles that I have to get over is when they first hatch, because we know candies hatch like the regular albino, just yellow and white. And so I don't think we're going to see a ton of difference with the sunset, because I don't know if you guys have seen the sunset albino, but it wasn't that impressive. And so we're going to have to wait for that candy color to develop. So I think out of the egg, it's going to be just as mediocre as the sunset albino, but as it develops, that, I guess what we call that pinkish color in the candy is going to turn more of a bright orange color in the sunset candy.
I really like Enchi and albino stuff.
Wasn't and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the lavender sunset made, and that thing was
Yeah.
like neon orange, and that was better than the Ultramel sunset, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, lavender sunset has been made. But lavenders, when they come out of the egg, they already have that pinkish color. So I think that's what sets the lavender apart from the candy, is that lavender out of the egg already has a little bit of that pigment, whereas candy out of the egg is just like an albino.
Throughout the time, though.
Well,
see, that'll be interesting because throughout time, and technically, your end result is going to be the start.
Candino that come out that are like white.
Yeah.
Candy.
Gotta get Enchi in it,
like
man.
It's the Candinos are tough.
I mean, if that's true, then that's great. like I was under the assumption, because I don't think I've ever hatched Candy in the same season that I hatched Candinos.
Right.
So I don't have that memory of what they look like exactly together.
I'm also trying to think.
From what I can recall, I feel like Candies, from what I did this last season, I made Candies, and from me, just from recalling memory, they kind of look like albinos.
Right. I'm trying to think like single gene candies. Like I made candy black pastel, so that might have been a key too. Like it was the black pastel versions of them, so they were pretty purple when they came out. But Candino ones,
he's not lying. He's not lying.
Candinos definitely take a little bit of sheds to start really popping in.
To tell the difference for sure.
It'd be great if they come out of the egg bright orange, and then there's just like no explanation. This is like a candy sunset, right? But if they come out yellow and white, then it's like, let's just wait a little bit. Let's wait 6 weeks. Let's wait 6 sheds.
I definitely hope you hit it. That'd be something cool to see. At least like that's nothing that I've seen yet. Like,
oh yeah, I want to see that bad. But wouldn't you see a little bit of pattern too, the sunset?
Sure.
After it comes out of the egg, you'd be able to see a little bit of the sunset pattern in a candy sunset, I would think.
I think it would be obvious to see that it is a sunset, but like I said, the sunset albino was not that impressive.
Was it like a GHI albino? Or like GHI albino is not bold GHI is. The GHI albino just by itself is very light patterned albino, right? It does the GHI pattern and all, but it's not that deep. Kind of like a black pastel albino. It doesn't have that really orangey or yellowy pop to it. I didn't know if the sunset would do something like that. Kind of like it's like a faded yellow.
It does have different tones. Yeah.
I feel I had high hopes for a GHI sunset, but when I saw them, it didn't really like hit me that hard. It wasn't as impressive.
Dude, I like GHI red stripe stuff.
The GHI kind of made the two tones. The sunset has pattern, but it's very hard to tell. And I think GHI just blurred it even more.
Right, made it more scrambly, like down.
Yeah. And so like I don't necessarily want to use GHI in my. I don't necessarily like the darker genes. I know there's like cinnamon and black. I think black pastel, but there's definitely cinnamon sunsets, and that's not really the direction that I want to move in. They look cool. I think it adds more of a gradient from that belly color all the way up to that dorsal.
For sure.
That's just not the direction that I'm moving. I'd rather just try to make it all bright orange.
I think it'd be balls to the wall, like putting like, it's just a thought. It's basically like a sunset, ultramel, then with the dark pattern, then with like the black pastel or the mahogany or the blackhead. And I wonder what, like, does that turn around and then stand it on its head with the bold pattern with that crazy shit that Sunset does pattern wise and that little bit of weird color. But like a standalone, I can see what you're saying. Like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. I think we have to just take little steps. I mean, my thought is to make it more orange with all those codons that I have already in the project. I would like to double up on those codons later down the line, so like a super orange dream sunset candy, something like that. I think what will also help with because the sunset really, I think the sunset looks best from the side so that you can see the tone from the belly all the way up to the dorsal.
100%.
And I think to add additional contrast is to add calico. So you don't start off with yellow, you start off with white, then yellow, then orange, then bright red.
Here's another question I never even thought about. Has anybody done a sunset lace yet?
Yeah, I think there was a white lace sunset.
Yeah, somebody did. I don't remember who though.
Really?
Was it test white lace or just said white lace? That's the key. Like,
I mean, they just said white lace on
right. Lace like takes away a lot of noise, and I wonder if you get like a really great gene with sunset with the lace gene, start cleaning that up so you can get that belly pattern all the way to the top. Because that's what messes up a sunset is the top. Just kind of like pastel gets that like whatever brown dose of whatever halfway down its body, like from the top down.
White lace calico sunset.
Right, and it starts blending in with the other color, and that's why everybody goes, sunsets look brown.
it's because of that.
I mean,
Whether or not.
I might be able to find out in a couple years. I do have lace and Exantic in the Sunset project as well.
That could be interesting too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Exantic was kind of a mistake. It wasn't even what I was shooting for. I thought I was because I have a lace head for Exantic and a lace fire head for Exantic and a lace yellow belly, no codoms. And I think at some point I accidentally switched their tags, probably during cleaning or something, or when I knocked them over.
And again,
so I switched the tags, and they're very similar looking. They're very bright and similar looking. I mean, if you put them side by side, you can clearly see the yellow belly pattern, so you can tell them apart. But when you're not paying too much attention, when you're on autopilot like I was, they're very similar. And so I kept putting my Sunset with the lace fire head Exantic when I meant to put it with the lace yellow belly. And it wasn't until I was selling the lace yellow, I sold the lace yellow belly, and the guy gets home. It's Ernesto. You guys met him at his house. And he gets home and he's like, "This isn't the lace yellow belly." So I ended up selling him he wanted the lace yellow belly, but I ended up bagging the fire lace Exantic. And so when he got home, he was like, I think you're getting the wrong one. And then I looked and we figured it out. But that's when I realized that the Sunset had sired that clutch. And I sent all of them to Charlie to be tested for Exantic. And I think 6 out of the 7 had for Exantic.
Oh.
Wow.
Damn. New project.
You know what, though? I mean,
you have
the pattern that Sunset brings is cool, though. So that might be
sure.
with Exantic to it.
We'll see.
Well, too bad it's not TSK.
Oh, yeah. We all can't be perfect.
Thank God it's not TSK.
Probably be the best looking Sunset ever made.
Well, it's 3 against 2, right? Or what team's John on?
VPI, bro. Come on.
John was on the TSK train, but
you guys watched my auction. My TSK flew out of here faster than TSK.
Oh.
Wait,
I'm waiting for Germany to make me really good snakes, and then I'll just buy them and slap them together. I ain't building that project.
Plug and play, baby.
It's too much building, man. I ain't got time for that.
I will say this, John. That girl, she's a hungry little thing. I'll tell you that much.
She's gorgeous. That thing, that snake was gorgeous.
She actually just came out of shed. She just shed like last week, I think, something like that. She's gorgeous. Like she eats good too.
No, this sounds interesting. Like I said, Exantics in Sunset.
Yep, for sure. Love to see that.
It's either gonna be great or it's gonna be a bust. But either way, I'll get the lace into it.
It's going to need hypo or something to help it, I think. The Sunset and Exantic is going to need hypo or DG or something like that to push it along, or the lace, solid vanilla, stuff like that.
Something's going to unlock it. Every freaking gene has an unlock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really going to absolutely.
This is what I mean when I say I'm on autopilot, because I don't even remember. But now that Chris mentioned it, hypo is also in that project, so we'll see.
It's freaking awesome.
Yes.
It's going to take that snake. Like I said, for me to get into Sunset, it's going to be like hypo, Exantic, something crazy.
Mm-hmm. 2 ghosts to get the Holy Ghost.
Yep.
I like the Sunset pattern. I love like the Ultramel Sunset. I love that lavender Sunset. But everything else, like my eyes just maybe it's my.
That's because you can't figure it out. You can't focus on it, man.
I think if Sunset stayed pretty as they are as babies, oh wow.
Sunset's also a gene, and I will go out on a limb and say it's so much better in person than any picture you could take of it.
Yes, I will give you that. It does look a lot better in person than in a picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them at like Gettysburg show. Guy had them. I was like, they're actually kind of cool. Like in pictures, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I feel that way about a lot of genetics. Like to try to take a picture of it, it just doesn't translate.
Well, I also think it's because we're so used to taking a picture from like a bird's eye view, taking it from top down. And like I said, Sunset, you got to look at it from the side.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And plus, the other thing is too is like the cameras that we have now. They do the auto color adjust, and it screws with shit, dude. Like this week's video I put out, it had the gelatin girl in there, and that the camera browned her out freaking horrendously. Like I was looking at the thing, I'm like, so you do like I'm looking like at the phone, looking at her, it's like you do not look like this. It's like I don't know how to edit this to where it's not going to screw up the color scheme. And, then you get called out for editing, images. Like, it's like the hell with we'll let the camera butcher her. But it's just like you do not look like what I'm seeing on the camera.
Me and Christine, like I said, we just had this huge conversation last night about this shit. My morph market isn't loaded like it should be, or anything because of pictures. Like I have such a problem to the point I set back up my light box in this room. Long story short, I had white bottom in it. Like it went out, I made this freaking nice white bottom. I went out and bought this $1 freaking brick looking thing. It's black. God damn, does that make it look 10 times better, man? Because I spent $70 in lights for this room because I was like, I'm just gonna take them on a white table and I'll get the angle and I'll just take a light and just hang it over. Son of a bitch, man, I couldn't get nothing the color. Ultramel started turning white. Like you're taking the pictures and like nothing's contrasted, everything's just blurring, and then the camera's over editing everything, and you put a yellow snake in there and it looks like neon freaking orange, and I'm like, what the fuck? So literally they finally got this now, so now I'm gonna start whatever with a brain like mine. I have ADHD real bad, so literally it took me months and I'm trying everything to the point I just quit. To the point that I'd rather sell the show because I can't take good pictures. Like I get mental. To the point now, like I said, it finally just now, hopefully this works out. Like I took a couple pictures that look great. So now I'll get on this train, so my morph market will start going with snakes again. It's just crazy, man. With photographs, like I said, you're taking a picture of something, trying to sell it to someone. What makes it stand out that it doesn't look like just a sea of snakes, first of all? What makes it so cool? And then, of course, it's way better in person than it is freaking in a camera box.
And the other thing is certain gene. That's just how it is with certain genetics too. Like certain genetics, you just got to see it in person. Xanthic's the perfect version of it too.
Xanthic's is that way. Ghost is that way. Ghost is impossible. You can have Ghost with like the freaking most craziest colors going on in it.
Ghost makes everything better.
Just a flat image of just okay. It looks bland.
Yep.
It's nutty. But I'm hoping to God, like I said, this new setup that I got going on here at least makes the pictures look presentable.
Before we wrap it up for the night, since it is 10:30, I'm sure Kai's got work in the morning. I know I've got to be up at the ass crack of dawn. Kai, what do you got planned for your YouTube channel? Because like I've noticed, if anything makes me feel better, my slacking of content from going from every week to where it seems like I'm doing like every other week now. Like, what are your plans for the channel? Are you just kind of doing like as you have content, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. Whenever I have content, I just upload something. I didn't see, like, everybody's always talking about the YouTube algorithm and how you have to post regularly and often. I've experimented with this. There's been a whole year where I post every single week, sometimes twice a week. And then I compare that year to another year where I just post sporadically. And I get the same thing. It's like the same numbers. The same number of subscribers jump up during
Kai.
Hey,
Kai,
your audio's going in and out.
You have a microphone or something? It sounds muffled.
I'm low on battery. I don't know if that helps.
Right,
there you go. Now
you sound like you were underwater for a minute.
Okay. I'm low on battery though, so it might die. But what I was saying is like for me, I saw the same spikes and the same drops year over year. It's more consistent during the period of time, like a holiday or something like that, as opposed to me doing something. So, like I said, I would post for an entire year very consistently, and I get pretty much the same numbers as if I just post sporadically on a different year. So it didn't really make much of a difference.
Because I know there for a while, like you were doing, like Jamie here saying about the rack builds, like you're doing rack stuff. Like you were very consistent every week. There was at least a video, and then it seemed like it started slowing up a little bit, where you'd get, you might have a couple weeks in a row, then there'd be like a little, you know, halt on the video stuff.
We got all the racks built, so
right.
Yeah, all the racks are built. I'm not gonna keep building racks.
Come on, guy, build them and sell them.
Jamie wants to see you build some more racks, man.
See, Jamie's got, he wants to be building racks here from what he was saying.
He wants to build a wall of your white racks, man.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. And it takes like 4 times longer when you have to record it.
Yeah, man. I can see
There's
that.
been times where I would take it apart because I didn't like the angle.
Oh,
shit.
And like, and before I became comfortable with editing, I would just reshoot the same thing from a different angle. You know what I mean? Instead of having like 2 cameras or something like that, or like zoomed in version versus zoomed out version, I would just record it twice.
Yeah, that's more dedication to me. You get a one go and that's it, basically. I'll fumble and stutter and everything else, and you just get the edited. I might say the same sentence 10 times till I get it freaking right.
What's up, guys?
It's how y'all doing, folks?
What's up, guys? It's Jeremy from Warfels Morphs.
What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy.
Pro placement.
It's hello, folks, or whatever. Yeah, we got you down, Jeremy.
See, I'm gonna change my intro up now.
We got you, buddy.
Like Juggalo and Juggalette guy.
Yes. Here we go.
Oh, Python corporate breeders.
Yes.
Ball breeder to all you balls and corporate breeders.
Stay tuned.
Oh god. I am just gonna have to do something really stupid one of these days, just to see if something like that makes a video catch on for whatever stupid reason.
I am so mad I missed my calling, man, because my freaking you ever watch that one guy with the memes that what? No way.
Yeah.
Come on, I've been doing it my whole damn life. And that dude's making millions off that shit.
I love it.
How about the other guy? He's like,
oh yeah, it doesn't say a word. It just fucking points at shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude's a millionaire.
Oh, man, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, did I miss my calling? Like, I was just dumb all the time for no reason. I get paid. Okay. I can get paid for none of this dumb shit.
Damn.
What? No
Hey, Dustin,
way.
what's up, man?
What's up, Dustin?
Oh, Dustin.
That's just funny. All right, guys. I think we need to let this man get some sleep because I know we'll get backstage and we'll bullshit for a little bit anyway as well. Probably. This week's video, folks, I have no idea what the hell you're going to get. The bang clutch isn't even in the shed yet, so you're definitely not getting, any bang.
You're not getting banged
this week.
Not getting banged this week.
You're not getting
banged.
banged this week. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll bang you. But
Okay.
You should have that. Jeremy should start the video with the freaking sad music and the black and white.
with the arms of an angel song.
Yeah, with the
Play that SPCA song.
Right, it just shows all the bangs going around. Brian.
Oh, you guys good some good ideas here. But only that'd be a copyright freaking thing.
Oh, for sure.
I love how
We're gonna have to have somebody do a spin-off of that, like who's good with mixing stuff. You could do a mix or something of it.
I love how YouTube can't use music for videos, but every freaking reel has freaking these songs and everything in it, right?
Well, reels are the stories or the shorts on YouTube are different than actual video content. because on the store or on the shorts, there's royalties paid for those songs. So you make
okay.
but out of that X amount you make for that, the owner of that content or of that song gets X out of
The
your
Arms of an Angel are getting paid out.
Dude, you know what I'm gonna do?
that.
For just $1 a month, you can sponsor this ball python.
And tag a
Sally,
song.
the Sally Struthers.
Yeah.
You too can freaking donate today. $1
For just
a
$1 a month, this poor helpless snake you can make eat. For just
You can
$1
name
a
it.
month. For
The
just
same
$1 a
snake will
month,
have
you can
85
feed this
names
poor
on it.
snake.
Just keep going at the same snake. Like, yeah, it's Jasper. Yeah, it's
Rescued out of its habitat in Africa for $1 a month.
Jasper.
like Gangster Paradise probably made more now than it ever made in its infancy from freaking reels, right? Like everybody like dropping the mic and Gangster Paradise freaking starts playing in a reel. It's freaking like
You can hold up a spider doing its wobbling for just $1 a month. You can help this poor helpless animal. Fucking stargazing.
God. We're so messed up.
living in the gangster's paradise. You freaking pull a snake in. You can do it to anything.
There's a spider around his neck. Singing that song.
Oh shit. I'm gonna get copyrighted.
Next week, though, we've got Fork and Reptiles with us, so that's going to be fun. Gabby and her husband. We're going to have them all. Fork and Reptiles.
Sweet. All right.
So it'll be their first time on the show. I don't know if they've done any podcasts or anything yet, but I know that they're always at like a lot of the shows that we're doing, like Hamburg and Gettysburg and stuff. So,
all right. Sweet.
I thought he was getting his impersonation of what's his name? The UFC dude.
What's that?
What was his name? The UFC dude, the freaking guy from Ireland.
Oh, McGregor,
yeah, Fukin Reptiles. That's what I thought you said. I'm like, what did he say?
Fukin.
For just $1 a month.
See, all right. You gotta work play for $1 a month. That man will not wear that snake in any naked pictures for any holiday.
Only $1.
It is $1 a month won't even feed that poor thing.
I know.
Not today.
No.
Oh God.
No. This poor thing's gonna starve.
But everybody, do make sure go check out Kai's video from this week. All of Kai's information, links, and all that good stuff are in the description down below. Definitely
Kai's
check out this week's video
idea.
because he was showing off some of his favorite animals out of his collection, and I was so proud of him with the one, even though it's the wrong line. I was very proud of it. It did make my jaw drop. Like I was like, damn. Like
hear the sorrow in your voice as you're saying that.
What's that?
I can hear the sorrow in your voice as you're saying that.
But anyway, folks, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Be here next weekend, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as usual. And have an awesome rest of the week, guys. Hang out here 1 second till we're all done and over with. And have an awesome week, guys. See you later. How is Chris blowing kisses?
I don't fucking know.
Because
well, no, yeah, I know, but like thumbs up normally does something. The heart does something, but like, how does blowing kisses make balloons go?
I don't know.
It's special.
I'm trying to get this one to do something. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. That one has just the eggplant.
Does that do anything?
I don't know.
Eggplant.
No, it's not doing it.
Good night, everybody.